ahoy, and good day once again to ye mateys! I be your disorderly, deranged, and turbulently chaotic DM, Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more joy than one could easily fit into a pair of Wellington boots to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove for another adventure in my Humblewood world, but using a new system, Lost Archives. That's what's on for tonight. We are playing some major Magicka, and with me I have my hearty crew, the tumultuous Ardanna, the confusing Brendan Ellis, and the anarchic Karen Schlink. And they're reacting somewhat subdued to these silly things I'm calling them because they've already heard this once, because tech goblins. Greetings.
No. Australian internet goblins.
Well, that's tech goblins. So yeah,
let's put the blame where it lies.
Fucking Aussie internet. Yeah, all right, fair. Let's
Malcolm
not blame the goblins.
My favourite tech goblin.
Yeah, so if we leave again, that's why.
That's why. If we do crash again, we won't be coming back. Just FYI, guys. But thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being cool and groovy while we are here. So, guys, who the absolute heck are all of you? Joe, can you want to go for round two?
Sure thing. I am Ardanna or Joe or Oi, you there, depending on situation, and I'm the channel runner and GM over at the Lore Ride. And I'm the one who are honored to run Josh through a wedding scenario on Sunday.
Yeah, over on the Lore Ride. And that
yes.
That is going to be what time? Our normal start time for
No,
17?
It's 9 a.m. Central European time.
9
so
a.m.
3 hours earlier than our normal start time.
Okay, so about 3 p.m. our time. Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Alrighty. Splendid.
That's good, because I'm like, you don't want to get up at 9 a.m.
I do not. I don't do that. Hey, Owen. Good to see you, mate. Brendan, who the heck are you?
No.
Yeah, well, that's your choice.
True.
I'm Brendan. I'm Brenter in chat. I certainly do not get up at 6 a.m. or 9 a.m.
Nope.
That is not how I roll.
Best thing about being unemployed, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Sure is. But I'm excited for Ardanna's Sunday stream. They were talking to me about it while Josh and Karen's internet was down, and we were workshopping some interesting scenarios and stuff for that. So yeah, it should be. I would be excited if I were you.
I am. I am excited to bring Susan back. So this is a character I will be playing, Susan Treefriend. Susan of the Swamp to the keen-eyed Humblewood viewers. Susan is a regular NPC in my Humblewood world, and I took her over for a one-shot, a bit of a silly Curse of Strahd parody, and we fell in love with her a little bit. Young, sexy Susan is kind of fun. So yes, there's this hedgehog woman who's going to a wedding of a kobold and a kobold and a vampire getting married. And it's perfect for Pride Month as well because they're both men. Yeah, it's delightful.
No, wait. The kobold is non-binary.
Oh, right.
I was going to say, I feel like kobolds aren't gendered.
Kobolds just be kobolding.
Yep. The kobold is played by the dreaded GM, who is themselves non-binary as well. Karen, who the absolute heck are you?
Hello, I am Karen, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies. I'm a performer, a writer. You can follow me on Twitter at Mother of Bunnies, or you can follow my Bella Alter Ego over on Instagram at Miss Lola Moore. If you would like to catch me in the Mean Space, I am performing this Saturday night as part of Mixed Bell SWA. It's a competition. You don't get to vote, but you can come and cheer for me if you want to. Astor Theatre, 7 p.m., I think. I'm in it, so I don't really have to pay attention to the start time. I just
you don't get
go
to
when they
vote
tell
because
me to.
Daria has already fixed the result. We've had her sort that out for us.
Yeah, if I win, I will never escape the shadow of doubt that will lie across me.
Russian election interference.
Oof.
They're even electing the lords of our burlesque now.
Yeah. And you can also listen to, if you're more into the TTRPG content, you can also listen to me in the D&D podcast. There be dragons. There's a link in chat, or just type it into your favorite podcasting platform.
And
You could Bing it. Search for it on Bing.
I mean, you
Or
could.
ask Jeeves, perhaps.
I think Ask Jeeves is gone.
Ah,
I
end of
feel
an
like
era.
it's gone. And Mesdames et Messieurs, Dama under Heron, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all of my wonderful friends. I hecking love this sort of thing that we do because it's built this marvelous community, and I've made so many friends through this. And I have improved upon so many friendships I already have. I love it. I'm really stoked with what I've chosen, bizarrely sort of fallen into to do. Yeah, I've got friends all over the world that I've never met, and I love it. Cool. Alrighty. Well, Karen, could you tell me quickly about the Ukraine, please? Or would you like me to do it because you can't
You
read?
had to ask someone else.
All right, I'll talk about the Ukraine. The Ukraine is going through a bit of an invasion right now, as you may well have noticed. So if you have any charity pennies in your digital wallets, you could check out a couple of the links that we put up in chat to help out those Ukrainians either fleeing from the violence or just trying their best to deal with it in their own country. The Emergency Action Appeal is a conglomeration of Australian charities and not-for-profit organisations that are helping the Ukrainian refugees. You could donate there, or if you fancy getting something a little back from your donations, you could check out the Dragon's Vault shop, which is selling the Curious Compendium of Slavic Myth for the donation minimum of £1, and all proceeds from that go to the British Red Cross appeal for Ukraine as well. So that can sort you out in either direction there. There you are. That's easy. So, guys, first of all, we need to do some character creation because we have a new character that we're adding to this world. The 39th character being added to this setting. 39th player character. Aleksander. Aleksander. First of all, let's scroll on up to the character building section. It's pretty simple. Describe your wizard. Choose one or two looks for your wizard. What do they look like? What does Aleksander look like, first of all, Brendan?
So Aleksander LeChonck is a very big, pudgy hamster jabeen.
Excellent.
He is white and orange, a big white belly, and he has huge spectacles that are like bigger than his face.
Excellent. Cool. Marvelous. And what is his vibe? Pick a vibe. For example, confident, edgy, vibrant, enigmatic, kind, unique, beautiful, energetic, unsettling, intimidating, or forgettable.
Look, Chonky is a special little boy. That's what people call him, is Chonky.
Chonky, yeah.
And he is a little slow and a little simple. That's that is, but I suppose charming in that special little boy kind of way.
Right. Okay. And what would be his goal? Why has he come to the wizard school?
That's the one thing I was hoping you wouldn't ask me. He might not be able to articulate this, but probably to have somewhere to belong. Weird stuff kind of happens to him outside of his control. So he has come to the avium to try to figure that out.
Cool. What would be his means of self-defense? A wizard always has a casting kit, a means of self-defense, personal effects, and an ID card for the college. As you would be aware, the ID card for the college is not actually an ID card. It is they all have an amulet, an avium amulet that looks like what I just put up on stream. It's a little arrow-shaped badge that has a bird folk claw holding a flaming ball in it. And it says avium across the bottom. In fact, it normally says student, and there are various types. The silver ones are student ones. And it has a couple of special properties. If you say a name or a location at it and ask how to get there, it will spin on your palm and it'll direct you where you're going, like a compass. It can also serve as a teleportation focus for blamfing back to the avium, if you have permission to use it for that purpose. But
that's very cool. I didn't know any of those things.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, no, that's right. You're in the other campaign. Yeah, Benek had one that had those properties, but he never used them in your presence. They're both, I made those up. But yeah, it's basically the Humblewood equivalent of a fucking sonic screwdriver. It's this need not be a problem, let's not have it be one. That's what a sonic screwdriver is for. I watched an interview with the writers of Doctor Who, and it's like, the sonic screwdriver is there to remove obstacles that Doctor Who need not have. And I'm like, it's a device, it's a narrative device more than anything else. And I was like, that's very well put. So, yeah, the means of self-defense, I'm trying to remember, I remember Hawa had a giant pillow that he could turn into a shield. Like his pillow could become a metal sheet. I'm trying to remember what Nicodemus and Efa have. What are your means of self-defense?
Nicodemus has a metal thing that was like a branch grew around it.
That's
so you
right.
just sharpened one side on it. So it's basically like a giant, well, for him, giant piece of metal in a branch.
Yeah. What was Efa's?
She has a sling and a bag of pebbles. But because her magic is the magic of change, she changes the pebbles into whatever she needs to throw at people. Everything from marshmallows to flaming hot coals.
Exactly. Yep. Cool.
So
Alrighty.
I have a couple of ideas. Because I was going to go with luck as his spell style. Part of me thinks maybe things just happen to miss him, but I don't know if it has to be something separate to the magic or not, in which case the other thing that I was thinking of was a giant impenetrable croissant.
Yes.
Phrases I was not expecting to hear tonight, I think.
Impenetrable? In what way impenetrable?
Like it's super stale. Like you...
Right.
And
he just carries it around with him because he...
It's his emotional support croissants.
Right.
That one's mine.
Emotional support croissant.
Emotional support croissant. I mean, I
Don't
don't
we all
mind the
need one of
idea.
those?
I think it doesn't work very well, but it definitely is what he has. He absolutely has it. And
I mean, I just think that it is so stale that you could try to chop it with a sword and just...
No, I agree completely. I think this is perfect. But it's actually his luck magic. It's just channeling through the croissant. Yeah. Cool. Not a problem. Why not? Fuck it. So he is a luck wizard.
Yes.
Definitely a sorcerer then. And I'm going to be getting out my wild magic search table. So the only other thing you do when you create your character in the first place, you have 4 points to put into your skills. The 4 skills are Bloviate, Shift, Ponder, and Evoke. Evoke is to cast magic. Ponder is to think about shit and use logic to sort of figure stuff out. Shift is physical action. And Bloviate is to speak. It is to speak at length in a normally a very outrageous or unnecessarily verbose manner. Think the way I talk, and you probably get Bloviate. Look, someone was going to say it. I figured I might as well. yeah, I had to look up bloviate. I was like, is that a real word? Yeah, it turns out. Last week, the gang went and figured out that there was a fire spectre in the library of the avium, and managed to convince it to leave, or, assist it in returning a book that it was valiantly trying to return after dying in the flames of the... well, you never actually figured out exactly where it had died, but you think it was in the Scorched Grove. And it had come back, and it was like, I've got unfinished business, I need to return this book. And it did. You guys helped it do so, and then, that resolved that problem. Hey, Dak, how are you, mate? So, you have 4 points. You can put 1 point in each, or you can put 2 points in one, and 2 points in another, or any combination. The number of points you have in a skill is the number of dice you get to roll when you are rolling in that skill. So if you want to make a check, I'll tell you which of your skills that you are going to utilize or would need to utilize. You can argue for one if you have a way you plan to achieve the goal. Then you can add up dice if you could say you are in some way utilizing your particular style of magic. And if anybody else is helping you, or if an entity is helping you, an entity being a very powerful being, be it one of the professors, for example, at the college. Most of them would be definitely considered entities, as would powerful elementals on the other end of the spectrum. Astorials and Amaranthines would absolutely be entities in this setting. The occasional Fae or undead, if you meet them, would qualify as well. So all of those, if one of those is assisting you, or one of your friends are assisting you, or both, you get to add another dice. Only 6s succeed. However, you can also add hubris to make rolls succeed. So it's pretty...
You know I'll be doing that.
Yeah, oh, I know. Yeah, Geo is just like you as well. Geo was like, hell yeah. Like, he's on for 2 instability already. Karen's added a couple of hubris, I think, on her track, but I don't think Nicodemus has got any.
Notes. I have 1 hubris.
1 hubris and 1 instability. And Nicodemus, I think, just has a single instability. When you get to 4 instability, you become an entity and not a player character anymore. The only other thing you need to know about is resistance. You can straight up use resistance to just nope stuff. It's like a hero point, essentially. You get a point of resistance for each one of the actions that you actually have a point in. So if you have 2 in Bloviate, 1 in Shift, and 1 in Ponder, you would get 3 points of resistance. And resistance can be used to auto-succeed a single dice roll if you haven't got any success. And
that can be chosen after the roll.
Yes. And resistance it recharges, but it only recharges after a specific action is taken during downtime. It's such a good name, isn't it, Band-Aid Betty? Hi, by the way, Betty. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us, my dear.
I keep thinking about the Centurion. Yeah, the Centurion in Life of Brian.
Yeah.
Or
Strike him, Centurion.
Senator.
Yeah.
Strike him waffly.
Very waffly. It makes me think of John Best, actually, because he used to... we did a panto together, and he played a character who had a lisp.
And he asked where the wiver is. And
show me where the wiver is. I shall throw myself in the wiver. Do not restrain me.
Restrain me.
And somebody
then
else
hold up a sign that says to
the wiver. With a
and
W.
I believe John kept that sign, which I made. I'll have you know, I was the crafter of the wiver sign.
Was that Aladdin? That show?
Ooh,
I think it was.
I think it was Sleeping Beauty.
John wasn't in Sleeping Beauty.
No, he wasn't. It must have been. It must have been
Aladdin. Yeah. Cool. Yes, because I was the genie in that one, and he was the Prince Charming, but he was not. He's John is many things. Anyway, John is the person who's letting me stay in their house when I go to PAX, so I shall say nothing more about him.
Yes, stop speaking dirt about the person who's letting us sleep in their spare bedroom. On
Look, let's put it this way. John was my best man at my wedding. We love John. Where are you putting your points, Brendan?
Well, yeah, thanks.
Actually, here's a point. Do you want to know what the other two have done so you can aim for a slightly balanced party?
No.
Okay, excellent.
No.
Balance?
I feel like balanced party is not the goal here.
Yeah, valid.
So, Aleksander LeChonck has 2 points of resistance. One of them is going to be in shift because he's a big boy, and that just kind of makes sense.
So
and the other 3 points are going to be in evoke.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa, nice.
I love it. So he's stupid as fuck and can't speak for shit. I love it.
Yeah.
But he's very magically powerful. Excellent. Love
Although he doesn't know
it.
how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Glorious.
Thank you, Brendan, for bringing the energy to this. That is exactly what I expected.
Now that I have declared what his points are, I am interested in what the other 2 have.
Much more sensible arrays, I think you'll find.
What do you mean?
I have 2 shift, 1 ponder, 1 evoke. No bloviate.
Okay. I have 1 bloviate, 2 ponder, 1 evoke.
It's actually not bad. It's a pretty balanced party.
Yeah, I think
Apart
Geo
from 1
had...
bloviate.
We've only got one person who can talk.
Bloviate?
He had 2 evoke. He had
Someone
2
had...
evoke and 1 ponder, and he'd taken a second. Magic style.
Ah, that's right.
He was technically the worst wizard. But
look, I mean, wizards aren't supposed to be good talkers. That's not what they do.
Not necessarily, no.
It just depends on the fantasy universe you're existing in. Sorry, Josh.
Well, exactly. So, seeing as Efa and Nicodemus are here, I think we should work out how the heck you guys know Alexander. So, Alexander, you choose, Brendan, who you would like to answer a question about and who you would like to answer a question about you. Of our 2 players, our 2 other players.
Okay. For the audience as much as for me, can we have a little summary?
Let's have a recap.
Of just the characters.
Nicodemus, who are you? Who is Nicodemus?
Nicodemus is an elephant shrew gerbine who has a rather long snoot, big round glasses, and he is the pretty boy of the party. He's a very beautiful elephant shrew. Every time he finds something he is interested in or something he doesn't know, his snoot wiggles, like, extremely. His goal here is to find all the secrets. All of them. You can't keep any secrets from Nicodemus. He'll find them out eventually.
He just loves to learn.
Yes. And he's not a great talker, but he likes to talk at length.
Bloviate is what he does. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right.
he talks a lot, but not a whole lot of it makes sense.
Now that sounds
Especially
like
when he gets especially when he gets excited, then he spews words. He also has this odd sword that is mostly using as a walking stick, but because he has no idea how to really use it other than go away.
And who is Efa? Aoife is muted.
Sorry. The button doesn't always work the first time.
Ah.
Mhm.
I'm just like, thought I'd unmuted it. Turned out I hadn't. Fun times. Anyway, Aoife is a puffin. So she's a black and white bird. She's beautiful orange beak, quite striking eyes. And wears the wizarding robes of her appropriate quarter. And because of my level of instability, I now have spurs on the back of my feet because I had to sprout some horns. But there were no specifications on where those horns had to go. So I have chosen to have platypus-like spurs on the back of my legs because no one can stop me.
He is wearing transmutation robes, so they are black with yellow piping.
That's right. That's what I thought it was, but I didn't have my notes open to that page, and I didn't want to accidentally screw it up. But yes, black robes with yellow piping. She has her sling and her bag of pebbles that she changes as required. I think that's all the pertinent information.
Cool.
Great. Okay. I would like to answer a question about Nicodemus.
Very well, and Aoife will answer a question about you. Alrighty. Splendid. Roll me a d20 then, Brandon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this game is exclusively d6s except this bit. But this is a bit I've added, so...
Yeah.
Okay, 9.
A 9. Ooh, okay. What item did Nicodemus give you that you treasure, Alexander?
Okay. I'm not going to say the croissant. I think that the thing that really strikes me about Nicodemus is that he wants to know every secret. And I feel like the use of Chonky's, the source of Chonky's power, and the fact that he doesn't know how to control it or where it comes from would be very appealing to Nicodemus to try to answer. So maybe Nicodemus has given Chonky some kind of focus that allows him to channel occasionally to channel his magic through.
I love it. Nicodemus.
That's cute.
Yes.
What would that look like? What would you have given Alex? What focus would Nicodemus have?
Well, considering that Nicodemus is a light wizard, it would have been a prism.
Ooh.
Right.
I
Love
like that.
So a clear yes. I also, speaking of that earlier when we were having the tech issues, aka Aussie, your
internet.
The internet sucks.
Your hoodie was covering half of the unicorn, so it just looked like your shirt said ass.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
He is an ass man.
I am. Can confirm. Alrighty. So Nicodemus gave Alexander a prism, and he cherishes it as a casting focus. And Aoife, roll me a d20.
Ooh. Uh, 17 ODM.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, he's
Good.
joking. This is bad.
Good. Why is Alexander wanted by the police? I love this. It doesn't necessarily have to be... The Humblewood doesn't really have one unified police force. Each settlement would have its own sort of constabulary.
Look, I'm going to say he's wanted by the police due to a slight misunderstanding involving a bakery, an elderly Corvum lady, and a very hungry beetle.
Okay, love it.
That is all the information Aoife has at her disposal. Every now and again, she lies awake wondering how these various facets came into play.
Did Alexander tell you that? Like, he's like, oh, yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, and this is all she managed to get out of him that involved an elderly Corvum lady, a hungry beetle, and a bakery.
Right. The police want to talk to them about it. Okay.
Wanted in several counties.
So, mateys, may your instability rolls not turn you into jelly, and all your choices lead to learning rather than death, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion, into the Avium. So we return to the Avium, the unique and often bizarre seat of learning in the east of the Humblewood. Aoife, Hawa, and Nicodemus have just gotten their grade back from Professor Birchwalker for their assistance with the fire spectre in the library, a solid B+, which means you can now, Nicodemus and Aoife, add a point in something. You get to add a point in a skill or a second style of magic. So if you feel that narratively you have learned something from this that could give you a second form of magic, you can definitely add that, or you can take a point in a new skill. It can be a new one, or you can add a point in something like Bloviate.
Excuse me, sorry. I'm tempted to give myself a point in Bloviate, so I have at least one in all the skills.
Very well. You also now have a new point of resistance.
Yes, I now have 4 points of resistance.
Or, well, you 3, because you spent one, didn't you? Did you burn resistance, or was that Nicodemus? That might have been Hawa.
Yeah, it was Hawa who burnt.
Yes.
I think I was going to, and then I didn't, because we realized it wasn't going to do what I wanted anyway.
Yeah.
There was a discussion about it, and then I didn't follow through.
Alrighty. 4 points of resistance. Very nice. And a point in Bloviate. Aoife can now talk herself out of situations a little bit, maybe. How about Nicodemus?
I think I'm gonna put one more in evoke. Actually.
Become a better wizard. That makes sense.
Yes.
Narratively, I think that makes good sense.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And that's essentially the leveling up system. Every adventure you have, you get another point in something or another.
I'm slightly better at one aspect of your life.
Yeah. So
oh my goodness,
it doesn't
that
mean you
coughing
are.
fit.
It doesn't mean you are out leveled. Like if somebody else comes in, this what I quite like about this is the way it's structured and the way I've sort of structured it as well. Mean that it is very episodic. It means that players can come in and out, and we can just have new players come in, and it works quite well. Geo can't join us today. Unfortunately, they are stuck at an airport, which is fair. Definitely things beyond their control, and they did warn me it would probably be an issue. But never mind, because Brendan's free today, so we've still got 3.
Yay.
All right. So let's first talk about some downtime activities, because in between each adventure, you guys get to choose. You get to have a bit of a rest. Not an arrest, Alexander, don't worry. Yes. Failure can be overcome with hubris when you acquire instability. Downtime. Are we? Well, volleys. Oh, it goes. There you go. Downtime. Downtime between group projects. The wizards chill, meditate, go to classes, work on their own personal project. Each wizard gets 1 downtime intent that can be spent on one of the actions in the following page. They can either have Eureka, the intent can be reading a cursed book, working on an invention, solving a baffling puzzle, or anything that advances the wizard's story and progresses their craft. Make a narratively appropriate roll to see how well this intent plays out. A wizard could get a help die from a faculty member if it makes sense and feels like narratively earned. On a success, the wizard gets a temporary asset that is mechanically similar to a spell style, can be added to rolls when relevant. So that is something. The temporary asset will be usable until the end of the group project in which it is first applied. If hubris is spent to achieve the success, come up with a narrative consequence to spice up the story. And you should write down 1 belief about the asset. Downtime intent appointment with the Catharsisomancer. A Catharsisomancer is somebody who helps you remove instability. If you have gone unstable twice like Hawa has, it might be a good idea to try and become a little less unstable. Although I don't think Gio will take this option. I think he is enjoying the instability that he's got. So you would roll 3d6s, and any 6s you get to decrease your instability by 1. Considering my place in the cosmos, Wizard finds time to meditate upon what they have learned and experienced so far. Upon doing so, they may refresh their resistance. In their notes, the wizard should 1. Write down a statement about how the cosmos has become more clear to them, and 2. Write down a question about the cosmos that they wish to answer to. Those are the 3 options. Seeing as none of you have used any resistance, considering your place in the cosmos is a little redundant, and you've only got a single point of instability, neither of which is massively problematic. I mean, Nicodemus can't smell right, and Efa has a bit of a like a little bit of extra bits on her, but otherwise it's not too bad. It's not major issue right now. So I'd suggest a Eureka to both of you.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So yeah, what would you like to...
Oh yeah, definitely.
What would you like to do? Hey, Rub the Bearded Dragon, good to see you, mate. Wizard yoga. Exactly. Woga?
Oh,
Wigger. No, not that.
Nicodemus would definitely take the opportunity, for as long as they are able to maybe finagle, like, can I maybe get 1 hour down in the library, maybe, Professor?
Ooh. To do what? To study what?
Druid stuff.
Ooh, okay.
Because with the work they had to do last time, he is very curious as to why this book was so important that the bird person
died because of it.
The bird folk. What was his
had to
name?
return
Samus? It. Yeah. Well, why why Samus had it on him when he died.
Okay. So yeah, you're wanting to learn a little bit about druid crafty stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So
specifically that book.
All right. Then you would be asking for the assistance of the head librarian, or the head of your school of magic, which is Professor Birchwalker, I believe. You're a conjurer. You're light, aren't you? Light would be
illusion.
Illusion magic. So your professor is Harlow Solfirth, a glorious partridge loomer. Who always seems quite iridescent. Or you could go straight to Mordain. You recently helped him out, so he'd probably be the person you'd go to. So let's have you do so. You go down to see Mordain.
Walking down the stairs, Nicodemus once again looks at the statues and then
you've booked an appointment so you can actually go down. You've actually requested time. Yes? Oh, hello, young man. Hello.
Hi. I was just wondering that the book that the Fire Spectre. That's what it was. That he wanted to return. If I could possibly read it, would that be okay?
Yes, it can't leave the library, unfortunately, in your hands, but you can certainly make notes down here, if you like, while you read.
Oh, absolutely, I understand. Yes.
Okay. So, he's prepared to help you in that he will help you find it and talk you through it, and it's fairly heavy-duty stuff, but I'm curious a little bit myself about how it got here, so we'll have a read over it together, young Nicodemus. So he is giving you his assistance. He is counting as an entity in this regard. And so he will give you an extra dice to roll. This would probably be a logic one. This is probably a studying role, and I believe you're quite good at those.
Yes.
So yeah.
So I would...
3, I think. 3 dice?
Yeah, I would have 3 in a ponder.
Ponder. Alrighty, make me a ponder roll.
Yeah. Okay. No successes.
Oof.
Do you get anything close?
I got a 5.
You can use hubris.
Oh yeah, I can.
If
Let's
you
do
want.
that. Let's use 1 hubris to
Very
make
well.
that a success.
I think what happens... I'm going to put on the library playlist. I think what happens is you do make some notes, but you don't really manage to get any... No eureka moment really occurs to you. And so yeah, nothing major, nothing that would qualify as an item of significant use or value to you. However, you do, as you are going, and you're a little disappointed as you're leaving, that you haven't really found a eureka moment. Mordane's eyesight isn't as good as it used to be, and you go to put the book back on the shelf, but you substitute your own notebook for the book. So he sees you put a book up on the shelf, and then you put your book, put the book, which was, what was it called? A Green Thumb's Guide to Xeriscaping, goes into your bag. So you're down one of your notebooks. I imagine Nicodemus has many. But
yes.
Up A Green Thumb's Guide to Xeriscaping, and with, I imagine, the full intention to return at a later point.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Oh my goodness, I made such a mistake. I'm so sorry, Professor Mordane. So yes, you acquire that book. You naughty thing, you. Aoife left the library in the possession of, elemental or not, by Nyquillus Crunch.
I did. I did indeed.
Would that be how you would be utilizing for your eureka moment, or would you like to do something
Look, if we don't
else?
think it's too repetitive, to have another book-based one, that was my plan.
No, I thought
that.
that was where I was going in my head. So yeah, what would you like to learn from it? That would be the lacking repetition from it. Like, what would you like to gain? How would you like to gain something?
Ooh.
Could it be used possibly to, what you learn from it, to craft or find something?
I'll find something.
Tell you what. What would you roll? What would you be rolling? Because you're very good at shift, aren't you? But not very good at ponder or the others.
I was thinking possibly could I use is there kind of any insight into using like elemental forces in magic?
Yeah.
Like, turn my pebbles into little balls of fire, perhaps. That sort of thing.
So the teacher you'd probably want to go to is Professor Birchwalk, the conjuration teacher.
Mm.
Or, actually, Minkus Varus, the enchantment professor, if you're wanting to... Well, there's those ones, or there is actually your professor, if you're talking about transmutation, Professor Scrymore.
Mm.
Who would you go to? Or would you, in fact, go to a teacher for assistance?
I feel like I would almost... Yes, rub the vintage. I feel like I would almost like take it to like my room and just sit there kind of pondering, like reading about the nature of elementals and like whether this is sort of something that can be applied to change magic. Is this a force that can be like utilized?
I will let you use your magic, certainly. I think this is either a ponder or an evoke, and your choice, and you can use your change magic for another dice in the roll.
Okay. That'll be 2.
Okay.
So I want to study this book and kind of see if it kind of gives me any insights into changing things into their elemental kind of components.
3
and a 2. I have no luck.
3 and a 2. Well, do you want to hubris that?
I don't think it's worth it at this stage.
And I don't think you can. It didn't say you can use resistance.
I think I read the book, I think about it, I try it out, but I don't have any luck. I can set the pebbles on fire, but I can't turn them into fire.
Yeah.
Remains a bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah. Well, there is actually a character sheet at the end of the book, if you like, Brendan. It's
I
pretty
saw
bare
that,
bones,
but it's easier to just use Word.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, no such luck for Aoife. But you do
Failure
spend
is part of the learning process.
Exactly, and you do pick up an awful lot of information. You then return the book to to Mordain Swiftgale as Nicodemus is coming out of the library bearing their ill-gotten gains.
Not that
Very
I
well.
know that.
Not that you know that. A couple of weeks go by. You continue having your lessons. You catch up with your friend Chonky as well. Hawa is even more. It's become noticeable, Nicodemus and Aoife, that Hawa used to just wander off. Now it's like they do it. They're better at doing it. Like normally you can spot them because they're pretty slow. You're just like, off he goes. No, Hawa, come this way. Now it's like, he was just there. Where's he gone? And you like find him 5 rooms away asleep. You're like, how did you have the time to get over here? You're so slow. He's even more hard to keep track of now. Today you haven't the faintest idea where he's gone, but you do have a free study afternoon again.
Excellent.
And Aleksander LeChonck has expressed an interest in teaming up with you for an extracurricular project for a little bit of extra credit. So the 2 projects that are available on the notice board at the moment, Dean Windsworth is looking for a team to go and check in on a village near the abandoned campus. This is the one that you guys saw last time. No one's gone yet. The situation has escalated a little bit. It is Ashbarrow, the village is named. It has retained a good relationship with the Avium since the campus was moved. The old campus, used to be where the Scorched Grove is now, or part of it. Obviously they moved it for pretty clear reasons. And Ashbarrow is suffering from some magical anomalies which are threatening the people there. They're looking for somebody, or a group of people, to go and look in on it, go in and check out what's going on there, and Dean Windsworth is keen for any students available to go and do that. Professor Ravania, on the other hand, is looking to prevent a problem. He is the head of divination and has foreseen an issue. They want a team to go and retrieve something that seems to be threatening, or that will begin threatening people's livelihoods soon out in Winnowing Reach.
Can I
what it is?
He does not know yet. You'd have to.
I have
figure
a quick question about timey-wimey stuff.
Sure.
When is this set? Is this
roughly
set?
Appropriate to current time in the wood as far as Monsters and Magic is concerned. So,
Okay.
yes, the Civil War is ongoing, but the Avium has always stepped a little bit apart from it. The involvement of several high-level wizards would really tip a balance. So they
Okay.
try and remain apolitical.
Sure.
Noted. So, what are people feeling? Do we want to go suss out this mysterious threat, or do we want to go?
I want to help the people of Ashbarrow.
Oh, any particular reason
Pe-
for that?
If people need help, then people should help, right?
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. And didn't they say something about undead? I never seen an undead before.
Oh, well,
Undead. That's spooky.
Well, it certainly sounds like an adventure. And
Oh.
you're right. We should be helping people. Yeah, that seems like a
Yeah.
nice, positive thing to do with our free time.
I want to go on an adventure. I haven't been on an adventure since the bakery.
You're really going to have to tell me more about that one day. You just keep like dropping these hints, and I got nothing.
Oh. No, I really can't. Anyway, Ashbarrow.
Ashbarrow. How long does it take to get to Ashbarrow from the avium?
Using the teleportarium almost instantaneously.
Oh.
You might want to go and talk to the dean first about exactly what he's looking for you to do.
Yes. Silly me thinking we'd have to walk.
Yeah, well, this is it. You will have to walk unless you go and talk to the dean first. He'll let you use the teleportarium.
No,
I don't mind walking. Every time I walk, there's a weird little trombone going off behind me.
It is from the avium to Ashbarrow at least a 5-day journey. On
Right,
foot.
definitely
That's-
a teleportarium sort of a.
That's
Elio
too much
then.
walking for Chonky.
You wouldn't be very chunky by the time you got there.
Oh God. Cool.
Also, Nicodemus, you need to write down one belief about your book, the book that you have acquired. Belief that you have about the book, the Green Thumb's Guide.
Cat. Scoot.
Yes.
He has plopped his entire self on top of it. Okay. One belief. Oh, I have one. I mean, it's obviously very valuable since a dead person tried to return it.
Mm.
So it must be very, very, very valuable.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Clearly it is. Splendid. Alrighty. Well, then you head on up to the dean's office, and you knock on the door, presumably. And yeah,
I'll probably do a quick check that my robes are nice and straight and that I look like a respectable, responsible student who can be trusted with this.
My robes don't fit.
no, they don't make them big enough in a gerbine size. Yeah. Yes, it's very much.
My big white belly is showing.
Looks like it looks like he's been sort of shoehorned in.
Looks like a jacket potato.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I love him.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, so Professor Windsworth, Dean Windsworth, is also the professor of evocation. Doesn't exist in an ivory tower. His office is actually almost in the exact center of the tree. So it is very regularly that students will at least go past him. They'd see him on the regular. He takes classes in evocation. He also teaches some about, all healing magic is evocation magic. So he does a lot of sort of the healing classes. You knock on Dean Windsworth's door, and he's like, "Hello, yes, who's there? Come on in you come, all of you."
Okay.
Alexander.
Hello, Dean.
Efa, isn't it? I believe. Yes.
It is, yes.
Hello,
yes,
my dear. And hello, who's this then? Yes, Master Nicodemus. Dean Windsworth is a prim and proper loomer. And in fact, we have a picture of him. Because I stripped them all out of the book. Windsworth. Why are you there? Why you do this?
I love his little feathery, like, ruff.
Yes.
It's so
Yes.
cute.
How precious.
He is gorgeous. Hello! Yes! He is sitting, so the Dean's office is quite large, but very full. It is circular, and the walls are covered in bookshelves. And he has stacks of books on his desk. There's just piles. He has a large, high-backed chair. It is the Dean's chair, not so much his chair, and he is dwarfed by it. This huge leather back sticking up with buttons in it, like the button-back chair, and it swivels. It's on a swivel. And he is this... It looks like he is the child of the person who it was built for. And he's just sitting there, his little legs hanging, as he's marking papers. And he says, "Hey, yes, hello. What are fat stacks, exactly. Huge stacks of papers, tottering. There are also several small tables, armchairs, and things scattered around, all of which are covered in books as well. What can I do for you, then?"
Well, Dean, we saw that your notice was up on the board about helping the people of Ashbarrow.
We want to help people.
And we thought we would be those people.
Splendid. People. Excellent. No, good, excellent. I'm glad someone's finally taking an interest in that one. Yes, I'll be curious to see what you come up with. Splendid. Well, yes. I'll tell you what I know then. As far as we've been able to determine, it is a necromancy situation. We think. We're not exactly certain what's going on. We've had one of our other students has been going out there every now and again, patch people up. One of our healer students. You've probably noticed him around. Reela. Reela, and you would know Reela. Reela is a goblin. Reela is a small little, he's about the same size as a Luma or a Jerbeen, but has zero fur, very long ears, and yeah, he is meta, he's a goblin. But it looks very odd to a humble folk person, humble or bird folk, because, yeah, not having feathers or fur is freaking weird. Green skin, and he just showed up one day.
What do people identify him as?
In the Avium, and the word on the streets is that he's at the Avium mainly because he isn't looked at as weird here. Here everyone's like, look, people here are a bit weird. He got here through a magical means, and he is known to be trying to figure out how to get back to wherever he came from. But he hasn't shared exactly his motivations for why, but he has taken a liking to healing magic and is doing a double major. He's really taken to study quite surprisingly well, and he's doing a double major in cleric studies and necromancy. But his necromancy studies are on hold because the professor of necromancy is not there. Gilda is on extended sabbatical. So, for reasons that the others are aware of. Yeah, that's what you know about Reela, but Reela has been doing some healing. Going out there, patching up people who have been injured by these undead attacks. But Reela is reporting, whenever he heads out there, he isn't reporting anything unusual in the situation. Apparently, and the Dean would say, Reela is currently out there as well. He's basically just sort of set up shop because of the amount of injuries that have been occurring. So yes, make contact with him when you get there. See if you can. He might be able to point you in the correct direction. But I believe there have been some, ongoing problems. It flares up every now and again. We're not certain exactly what's going on, but of course that's for you to figure out.
So you don't know what sort of creature or force is causing these injuries?
No. Well, we know that it's an undead. It's basically people are the dead are coming back to life, and that's obviously problematic. Yes, people are dying, and look, I haven't done a huge amount of digging into it my own self. I happen to know that it is yes, people are coming back to life and attacking their fellow villagers. Some people, however, don't appear to be dying first. They just sort of go zombie. If they are dying, it's happening very quickly.
That's no good.
Exactly. I'm mildly concerned that it might actually be to do with elemental magic, elemental death. That could, and I stress could, be the issue. But again, I haven't had the time to go out and check in on it my own self. Not Nicodemus. Rila is, Relaya, rather. It's Relaya is how it's pronounced. Isn't that, strong in the elemental magics themselves, though they do report that they haven't detected any necromantic energy, other than, of course, when the zombies are actually staggering around. So, yes, that's partially why I've had them stay out there, because necromancy, obviously, is a bit frowned upon, but we here at the Avium, you know our policy, all knowledge is good knowledge. It's just application, that's the problem. But Rila is one of our better healing students. I've taught them myself, and they have my complete trust.
You would, to that comment of all knowledge is good knowledge, you would just hear from behind one of the dean's books, as the top of the glasses are just poking out.
I think, all the stacks are. He is a small being. His own. I love that the idea that they're all four of you in this room are size class small. There are 2 Luma and 2 Jabin in this room, in a room that is clearly designed for a medium-sized being. So he says, "Well, bring your amulets here, and I shall give them the tap." And he pulls out a very elaborate wand. With which to tap your amulets. Like, that'll give you, here you go. Boop. And this will give you permission to use the teleportarium. And as he touches it, they're like an oily sheen, like you know that sort of rainbow on oil, that sort of thing, glimmers across the surface of your student amulets. And he says, this is good for 1 blamf there and back, okay? So don't go abusing it. If you go somewhere else, you're not going to be able to get back. But basically, squeeze it and think of home, and blamf you'll come. Something of a get-out-of-jail free card, though, doesn't work inside an authorized law situation. It was a jail, an official jail, that won't get you out. So it's actually not a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's a get-out-of-almost-anything-else card, right?
Oh, that shouldn't be a problem. None of us are wanted by the law.
Exactly. Good. Well, splendid. Don't get yourselves into any situations where you could be, would you? That would be bring the Avium in disrepute. And we like the people of Ashbarrow, and they like us, which is unusual, so we want to keep it that way, all right?
Yep.
Absolutely, definitely.
Splendid. All right.
Totally.
Well,
yes.
Yes. Good. Well, I'm relying on the 3 of you then, and extra credit all round if you succeed in figuring out what the blasted hell is going on.
Dean, Master Dean, sir.
Yes?
When we get back, could I borrow this book?
Which one?
Oh, this. And he holds up the one, like,
selected
top of
a
the
random book. Okay.
It's just top of the stack.
This is going to be my, like, I've gone and created a whole bunch of NPCs just in case. But it's going to be this, isn't it? I'm going to come up with random book titles for you. He says, "Well, let's
helps.
What would you like it to be about?"
Fantastic yeasts and how to bake them.
Yes. that one.
Very well. It is Fantastic Yeasts and Where to Bake Them, by Salamander Canute. Hate this place.
You've cultivated this much like a fine sourdough yeast.
Salamander Canute. Author of Fantastic Yeasts.
I think it should be Fantastic Yeast and How to Yeet Them, personally.
How to bake them. This makes sense. Okay.
How to Eat Them is made by Salamander's rival.
Yeah. Splendid. So you head on up to the Avium's teleportarium. This would be considered one of the wonders of the world if everybody knew about it. But it's also it's a sort of an open secret. People do know about it. It is not kept super secret, but exactly how it works absolutely is. It is a huge chamber at the pinnacle of the tree, and it has the walls are covered in runes that pulse gently, clearly channeling magic. And Nicodemus, I imagine you would have looked into, you would have done some poking, done some asking around about exactly how it works, just because you've heard of it, you've probably used it a couple of times, and you've been like, I need to know. And the information you would have been given is a huge amount of magic is cast in the Avium every day. All of that magic needs somewhere to go. The teleportarium is that place. The tree is designed in such a way that it channels all the excess magic that is cast within its walls upwards into the teleportarium. And therefore it generates this huge amount of charge. So
like
the
a magical chimney.
Exactly. And the teleportarium thrums with magical power as the three of you enter it. And I think I would like Alexander to roll on the wild magic table.
Ooh.
Is that a D100?
It is a 100 and a D20.
Okay. Oh, I like the way this place is vibrating.
Do right now.
Okay, I'll just leave these out, shall I?
Oh,
it's really cool, isn't it?
What first, D100 or D20?
Either way, just give me the numbers.
Okay. Oh, that is a 97.
Ooh. High number.
And a 3.
Fantastic.
Put those together and it's 100.
Yeah. Amazing. Alexander, as your friends begin to take in this place and you comment on how the world seems to be, how you really like the energy in here, as you look around yourself, they seem to be walking in reverse.
Hello?
Okay.
Nicodemus makes their comment, but it's a as they are just sort of walking back towards the door. Efa
I don't
and
know
Nicodemus,
that language.
Efa and Nicodemus, apparently unaware of you just standing there watching them, reverse course out the door. A young Luma girl walks up next to you. She's a little bit older than you. She's probably in her late teens. And she says, "What the hell's going on with them?"
I don't know, but Alexander is going to start copying them and walk backwards and try to keep up with them.
They go out the door closes, then they immediately open the door again and come in as normal, as they had before. The whole thing takes no more than 15 seconds, and you walk backwards into them as they come in.
Sorry.
What the?
Do we notice?
Yeah, last time you looked, Alexander was behind you. And he is now suddenly in front of you. And the Luma girl says, "That was very weird. Why did you do that then?"
Do what exactly?
It's like you reversed out.
Yeah, you were walking as if you were on the moon.
Oh, I did. How did you get on this side of us? You were not.
He didn't do anything. You reversed. You went backwards. It was like time ran backwards for you for about 12 seconds.
Oh.
I've read about something like this can happen here because all of there's so much magic in here.
Ah, could be that.
Powerful wizard.
Well, might well be.
Can we go?
Where do you go in then?
Ashbarrow.
Ashbarrow. Okay, I'll get you to stand up on that platform there, and I'll just get these sorted. And she starts messing around with some dials. It's a series of circular rings of stone that she sort of is pushing around, each marked with runes, and it's like an Aztec clock. It's got its concentric circles, and she's moving one around.
Like a sundial type thing?
A little bit, yeah. She says, "I'll just get you set up there. How long are you going for? Are you coming back today, do you know?"
Hopefully back today. That is the plan, I think. Is that the plan?
I only brought one spare pair of underwear.
Okay, back today
hopefully
is the plan.
All right, well, I'll leave this set up unless somebody else needs to use it then. You would know that this is Jel Platenna. She is one of the senior students. She's currently working on her master's. She's a quite well-known and well-liked student. And often there's a watch sort of situation in the avium about the teleportarium, and the senior students take it in turns, sort of prefects and the like, take it in turns to watch over and help utilize the teleportarium. Cool. Yeah. So Brendan, you got a 97 and an extreme result. Time seems to flow backwards for you, causing time to repeat for the last 2 turns. Spells cast must be repeated if possible. If not, they simply fail. So I just sort of made it work in this setting.
That would be very cool to see in combat.
In D&D, very useful. So you blamf out of there. The magic the pulsing of the runes accelerates rapidly, and the world sort of swirls around you, and you blamf to Ashbarrow.
Cool.
You would be aware that Ashbarrow burnt down no more than 6 months ago. It was a bit of a mess, and Riffin nearly died there, actually. However, it has been the subject of extensive rebuilding efforts. The Birdfolk Council has put a lot of money into rebuilding this place, and it's not...
Yeah, and was this where we went in very early season 1?
No, that was... do you mean the little mountain village?
Yes.
No, that was Crest March.
Okay.
It's not that far from it, however. Ashbarrow is on the very border of the Scorched Grove. The fields of Ashbarrow are famously productive. It is a really because of the Scorched Grove. Actually, the ash from the grove makes for extremely good fertilizer. However, the danger of living on the outskirts of the Scorched Grove cannot be overstated. As the place has burnt down several times in its history, the most recent being very recently. However, it's been rebuilt, and this time they're building it out of stone, which isn't that bad an idea.
Why wasn't it built of stone before?
Yeah, how
What
many
were these
attempts did
people
that
thinking?
take?
I imagine every time they build it back a little bit better. Thinking this time this'll work. This is yeah. Like last time, the other thing that it has a lot of is irrigation. There are naturally designed fire breaks throughout the village. It's almost like it's walled, but it's not. It's moated instead. There are several concentric rings of waterways flowing throughout the village. So a river has been diverted through the town, and it is the City of Bridges now. That's not what it's called, but it very much looks like it. Yeah.
Bridgetown.
Exactly. You blamf into the city center. Hey Omi, how you going, buddy? A nice little it's a sort of quite a big gazebo there, constructed out of granite. And it is designed for teleportation in and out, to the point where there is actually a teleportation circle on the ground. It leaves a like in Thor, you know, when they
It leaves the kind of rune pattern
the
behind.
rune pattern mark on the ground. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you appear there. You are in Ashbarrow now.
Is there anyone kind of manning this spot at the other end?
No, it is just a receiving pad. You can, when you blamf back, you don't need to be standing on it to use your avium amulets.
Oh, we can blamp back from anywhere we like.
From
we don't
anywhere
have to come
you
here.
like. If you are on the verge of death, you're about to be eaten by a zombie, just press the button and you'll go home.
That seems very specific. Why would you use that as an example?
Just a turn of phrase. I'm surprised you haven't heard it.
Especially in this scenario. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In case of zombie, blamp.
The only thing I would say is that the village, you know it was burnt down recently, but it looks like it's a sort of place that was it would probably house over 200 residents currently in its current form. So it's a little odd that it's as deserted as it is.
So we can't actually see people like milling around.
There
There's
is
not,
only a half dozen people sort of milling around, and milling around is a pretty good definition for what they are doing. Yeah.
These people aren't giving off a undead vibe by any chance, are they?
Well, none of them are very close by, but they all seem to be, moving rather listlessly.
Is there
Hello? Any zombies?
I kind of fling myself at Chonky and like clamp his mouth. Shh.
Omi says, doing fine. Finally got back behind the DM screen this weekend. Decided to take a third portion of the adventure I was running my game off and chucked it in the garbage where it belongs and decided to run our first character arc. 2 words. Hag Coven. Nice, Omi.
Nice.
Very cool. Alrighty. Well, yeah. Yes. Unfortunately, Alexander has said those words quite loudly. I'm just imagining this huge hamster boy in ill-fitting robes clutching a pillow-sized croissant under one arm, like a security blanket, and
The puffin hanging off his nose.
Shut up! And a trio of the inhabitants of Ashbarrow turn to face you rapidly and begin staggering towards you. One of them appears to have a very bad leg. A gallus man appears to be, really struggling to walk. He's done something, injured himself in some way. The other two, hang on, check my notes. The other two are a young teenage hedge girl who is she's moving relatively easily, but looks like she can't see, so she's sort of blindly staggering towards you. And then there is a Gerbine woman as well, an older Gerbine woman who is whose her mouth is hanging open, like she's struggling to breathe as they all head towards you.
Oh, something about this don't smell right.
None of this smells right.
Hello, what are your names?
Do they change speed at this new?
They do start sort of staggering towards you a little bit faster, yes. And a couple of them make a sort of noise.
Excellent. Is there any
Don't sound like a name to me.
is there like a structure nearby in which we might be able to take shelter?
There are a couple of nearby houses that are fairly sturdily built.
Okay. Odds of them being infested with the undead?
Hey,
to say.
DM,
Yeah?
I want to try out some of this game's mechanics.
Hell yeah.
I would like to evoke using my luck magic.
Uh-huh.
I would like a bundle of rakes to tumble out of a nearby shed and to position themselves perfectly in front of these three things so that they step on them.
I love it. Alrighty, make me an evoke roll with your luck magic. So four dice.
Okay. Excellent.
Wow.
Look, he called them down on us. It's only fair he solves this problem.
Absolutely, yeah.
I got 1-6.
1-6. Yeah.
And you know what? Is it worth me? I had a 5, so I do want to use
If
some
you burn
hubris.
a point of hubris, then you can get another 6 and extra things will happen.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Definitely. Alrighty. So this is, I have upgraded my mental image of this pavilion that you're standing in. It is surrounded by a 5-foot wide little moat. All the rivers sort of flow towards it, and there are 4 bridges to get to it. And yeah, there is a large quantity of building supplies and equipment propped up on the next to the entrance to one of the bridges, and the gerbine and the hedge that are sort of staggering towards that one go past them without any incident, and then just one bit falls over, and then all the bits fall over. I like to imagine, Alexander, that you're like, I'm gonna... I think how does he actually make the magic happen? Because it's more like accidents is the way I imagine this.
I think his evoking is going to sound like, no, stay back.
Yeah.
And just stepping backwards.
So as you step backwards,
in fact, maybe he trips over a rock.
Yeah.
And that rock goes flying.
Yep.
And triggers the first. Yeah.
Alexander staggers backwards a couple of steps, and his foot dislodges a rock. The rock shoots forward, bounces over the bridge, and in a manner that Nicodemus and Aoife would not be unfamiliar with, just sort of watching this bizarre Rube Goldberg effect. This rock just plink, plink, plink across the bridge, knocks over a spade that throws down a series of rakes and other building supplies and equipment that these zombies just get completely confused by. Just sort of walking, boom, just getting smacked in the face by shovels and rakes and the occasional hoe.
Hey, that's my mum you're talking about.
You have successfully lucked your way out of dealing with 2 of these things, as they are just completely baffled, and one of them staggers sideways and falls into the pond, and it just sort of thrashes around a little bit. Nicodemus and Aoife, there is one left. The elderly Gallus is coming towards you.
What is the terrain like out here?
It's a village square, so it's reasonably clear and open. It's recently been rebuilt as well, so it is still,
is there like paving stone, gravel, dirt, grass?
Let us say paving stones. I think they're trying to make this place as flame retardant as possible.
Right. I would like to turn the paving stones beneath the lady's feet into really gloopy mud.
Cool.
Nice.
Love it. Alrighty. Then it's probably I think this is evocation. But it's definitely, as this is evoking, it's not evocation, it's transmutation, but it is your skill at magic. Absolutely. So 2? Unless Nicodemus is wanting to help in some way.
Unless it's not shift, is it?
No, because it's you. Unless how are you doing it? If you are you're doing magic, which is evoking.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It will be 2 then, because I'm using my specialty.
Unless you are using your body to do it in some way.
Yeah.
Not
I have an
really.
idea for how Nicodemus could help capture this. I think he's going to not use his magic. So is it a clear day?
Yes.
Okay. So he's gonna take his glasses, lift them up, and try to bend the light to blind the zombie.
Ah, okay.
To make her like stop and then sink in the mud.
Very well. Because rolling dice is fun, I will let Ardanna roll the one help dice, and Aoife can roll her 2.
I'll roll my 2 evocation dice.
Yep. Yes.
That's lucky because I rolled a 1.
All right. So this flashing light actually just catches the Gallus's attention, and he goes staggering towards you. This one's leg is already not great. So when he puts his foot squarely on a large cobblestone that instantly changes into thick mud, he sinks to his hips in this cobblestone. He is now very much inconvenienced and incapable of getting to you. The other 3 zombies are far enough away that they can't really notice you. They haven't really noticed you. So yes, you have successfully defeated the zombies. The 2 that were sort of staggering around in the rakes and other farming equipment, one of them has fallen over and impaled themselves on a fork, while the 3rd fell into a puddle. Aoife, when the last zombie is stuck in the mud, I presume you then turn it back into a paving stone.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll stop the spell, so it's
it is
stuck
unable
there.
to now. It is just stuck up to a mid-thigh in this paving slab. You could free it later if you wanted to, but right now it can't move. Congratulations.
How close could I get to it without risking it kind of...
Oh, you could get within sort of just outside of arm's reach, really.
Cool. I would like to examine it more closely then.
Very well. You head on
now
over.
Now that it is twapped.
Twapped it. Exactly.
Can't resist now. It is twapped.
Wow, your magic is so powerful, the both of you.
Yes. I mean, not wrong.
I didn't do magic. It was just bending light.
This was magic, so thank you.
Well, that's true. Efa's magic is really powerful.
I don't know how you can bend light without using magic, because I try to bend light, I can't even touch it.
Aleksander, you know that prism I gave you a while back?
Yeah.
Use
That
that.
means a lot to me. Here it is.
Yeah. Hold it up, and then look at the ground. See?
Are you bending light through that?
No, you are.
I'm a powerful wizard.
Yes.
You're a loony. I don't.
Thanks. I'm not a loony. I'm just very dumb.
Alexander, as Nicodemus, as Alexander is holding up this this prism, reflecting the light through it, he shines it on a small pile of hay, which immediately bursts into flames.
Perhaps not during a
This is
hot
very
day.
much
Okay.
Alexander's luck magic happening again, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I rolled on the wild magic table. It was amazing. I was like, perfect.
Oh, just be careful because that can happen.
Okay. Alexander's just keeping himself occupied with the shiny light for a while.
Aoife, you get close enough to the zombie to determine what's going on.
I want to look at.
You find an elderly Gallus man.
Does he seem distressed by his current situation?
Only in that he cannot get to you to eat your brains.
Ain't that a shame?
Well, that's
They are
understandable.
juicy, and I have a lot to go around.
It's a real shame, yes. If he went for Alexander, he wouldn't have even a snack.
Oh no.
I love Alexander. I think he's fantastic. I'm really enjoying this inclusion. In fact, what are you looking to determine, Aoife?
Well, they've been talking about how it might be undead. So how dead does this guy look?
He doesn't.
Doesn't look dead. Intriguing.
No. I mean, you would guess that. I don't think you've actually. So the only undead creatures Aoife would have probably interacted with in her life thus far are the servants at the avium. So the groundskeepers and all the sort of drudgery menial work is performed by the skeletons that have been donated to the avium for this specific purpose and reanimated as undead servants.
Just as a quick aside, out of curiosity, what kind of skeletons are they generally? Are they generally bird folk or mostly humble?
Combination.
Okay.
As many
presumably
bird
not
folk...
within the same skeleton.
No. A combination bird folk and humble folk. Yeah, I would say probably about a 50-50 split. There isn't... the avium is one of the few places where you don't find a huge amount of disparity. Cool. There's probably a few more noteworthy professors and headmasters that were bird folk than humble folk, but that is more an economic factor than a quality factor. There is probably a few more students that are bird folk than humble folk because going there isn't free.
Just systemic racism.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll take anyone who can pay. The fact that this is disparately one way or the other really has nothing to do with us.
There is, however, a lot of there is several scholarship programs and that have been established specifically to redress that balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, this one does not look that dead. I imagine there is an amount of what you would expect to see on a zombie. Something that is undead. The general impression is it'll be rotting, it'll smell. None of that. If it's dead, it hasn't been dead for long.
Is there a safe way to take its pulse?
Maybe you can try. It would be a sprint roll. It's something you're quite good at. It's a physically restrain its arm so you can take its pulse sort of situation.
Yeah. Basically kind of immobilize its arm so I can...
Try removing the arm first.
Tell you what, actually, does it have anything around its wrist? Like the cuff of its clothing or
Yeah, there'll be a sleeve. Yeah.
I would like to try and change the cuff to lead, thus pinning one arm to the ground.
Oh.
Ooh. If you were to push it over and then change the cuff to, because it would be heavy, but it wouldn't be immediately you'd have to change it to uranium or something to make it really heavy. I love the idea though, but if you changed it to flagstone, while it was in contact with a flagstone, it would sort of bind it to the ground.
Oh yeah.
You definitely do that. If you try and push it over, I would let this be a your magic plus sprint.
So 2?
Are you only 1 in sprint? Then yes.
Sprint.
So shift.
Shift.
I have 2 in shift.
Yep, so, and then plus your magic, so 3.
3, cool. Basically, I'm gonna grab one of the gardening influence, and I'm gonna push it over.
Push it over, and then
when it hits the ground, I want to make its cuff and the flagstone it hits the same rock.
Love it.
So it's kind of birdie hand is pinned down for me to come over and put 2 fingers on.
Love it. Very good. Very clever.
Cool.
All right, then, Eva, make the roll.
I rolled 3 4s.
3 4s.
3 4s. That's dumb. I would like to use my hubris.
Would you like to resist or would you like to hubris?
What's the difference?
Well, resist is just an auto success, but things get weirder. Or hubris is just 2 points of hubris. 2. Yeah.
So
and
I'll use the
remind me, if you get to 6 hubris, you get an instability. Is that right?
Yes.
Yep.
You do have quite a lot of resistance, is the only reason I put that suggestion out there. Hey, Tony, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, I have 4 resistance. Sort of. I'll use a resistance.
Very well. So things get weirder, however, as you basically you're using just trying to power your way through on this very good idea. I think both arms actually sort of fall forwards, and it's sort of up to its waist in flagstone now, and also now stuck to the ground by more flagstones. You've sort of pinned it down, arms and legs. Stuff. Just had Thai food for lunch. Lots and lots of Thai food. Jealous. I am hungry now. Thanks, Tony. Good to hear. So yeah, and how do I want this to get weirder?
Did the flagstone turn crazy colors, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so for a start. Yeah, the flagstone changes color. 3. That would be... The flagstone changes an iridescent blue.
Oh.
As you do that. It's still slate, but it's now blue slate, which is a little odd. And the... Yes, the entire outfit, the entire jacket, sleeve, and everything turns into slate as well. So you changed a significant more of this person's clothing than you intended into slate.
But he is now pinned to the ground.
He is now pretty much completely immobilized because he's now wearing a coat made of stone.
Look, I can't be too mad about this outcome. It's achieved what I wanted it to.
Yeah, so you can now safely take his pulse.
I would
he
like
does
to try
not
and
have
take
one.
his pulse. Well, after all that, he's dead. What's your name, sir?
His name's George.
Who said that?
An older Gallus lady is sticking her head out of the doorway of a house nearby.
Oh, hello. George, you say?
He's my husband.
How long's he been like this?
He was fine when he left the house this morning.
Do you know where he was going?
To work.
Where's
out in
work?
the fields.
Which way?
She comes over. Very gingerly, very nervously, sort of aware that there are others, and she says, "Almost everyone's hiding in their homes. You must be wizards. Are you from the avium?"
Yes.
Yeah, look at my badge.
Oh, yes, of course.
This
Splendid.
is Nicodemus and Alexander.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, young men. Yes. Thank you for coming, dears. I'm so worried. Do you know what's wrong with him?
Well, he's dead and not dead at the same time.
He's dead.
Well, he doesn't have a pulse, which usually means you're dead, but as you can see, he's still very much moving.
She is very upset. This is her husband.
Aoife, you can't just say that people are dead.
Well,
I'm
She
I'm
begins
sorry.
sobbing
He's dead.
uncontrollably. She is like, "Oh, George, no!"
It might
It's
be
okay.
reversible.
She
He could just
burrows
have a
her
very, very
head
low pulse.
into Alexander's puffy shoulder, and is just wailing uncontrollably.
Cute. Sorry, where does he go to work? We'll see if we can work out what's wrong. Maybe we can fix him.
in the fields. Weren't you listening, Aoife?
Fix him!
Better listen
He's
when people are
dead!
upset.
How can you fix that?
Oh, he's still moving.
He might just have a very, 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 very low pulse.
Maybe he could get better.
She sort of wipes her. Birds don't really have. She wipes her beak, and says, "Do you think so? Well, maybe you and Relay could figure him out."
We'll definitely try to.
There was that
Where
nice
is
young man
Relay?
who came from the avium before.
Oh, where's he?
Where is he?
Well, we put him in one of the houses over on the other side of the square, but he's probably out in the field, same as George. Well, except that George isn't. Oh, George.
Yes, I wouldn't get too close to him until we're sure what's going on. What's your name? Sorry.
I'm Mina.
Hi, Mina. I'm sorry for being a bit. I'm not
Brusque.
Yes, I'm not completely sure what's happened to George. But we're going to do our absolute best to try and sort him out. All right?
Do you suppose young
Yeah.
Miriam over there is okay as well?
Which
Or
one
do you
is
think
Miriam?
she's probably dead? The hedge girl. The teenage hedge girl. She's indicating Miriam Mulchfork over there. Poor girl.
Is she the one that got impaled or the one that fell in the water?
The one that got impaled.
Oh, is she still moving?
Yes.
Well, she's still moving.
She's stuck on her back. Her quills have sort of formed a sort of rolling thing. She's struggling to roll over because she's quite a round individual because of the quills, and the fork sticking through her is sort of acting like a rudder. So she's just unable to get off her back. But yes, for all that she's got 4 prongs of a metal fork almost all the way through her, it doesn't seem to have bothered her too much. She's just a bit stuck right now.
Well,
Look, Miss Mina, Nicodemus, he's my friend, and he's very smart. And Aoife, she's real good at turning things from one thing to another thing. So if anyone can turn your husband from dead to not dead, it will be her.
and we're not sure he's dead. And that very much has the tone of stop saying who's
Stop talking,
dead.
Alexander.
All I'm saying is, if he was dead, he might not be dead for very long.
We're going to work it out, Ms. Mina. Why don't you go back into your house where it's safe, leave George out here where he's safely restrained, and we'll be back just as soon as we can.
Oh, okay then, my dears. Thank you. And Mina Sallowtail goes back inside. Having correctly pointed you in the direction of the fields where George was probably working this
As she withdraws from me, there would be like a gallus-shaped dent in my fur.
Yeah.
Where some of it is a little soggy.
Yeah. There is absolutely that.
Yeah.
Well, that was a little bit of a disaster, wasn't it? Note to self: don't talk about people being dead until I know if they're related or not.
Like he's dead, right? He's dead. George, shh. Okay.
I think we did pretty well, all things considered.
I think we should go check out this field where people seem to be being infected.
Yeah. And maybe we'll find Relay.
Yeah. See what's happening there.
Very well.
Dear.
I love how Karen's gummy worm is chroma.
It's been
Stream.
chroma keyed
So it's
out.
picking up the.
You've got an invisible gummy worm. Okay. You head on out to the fields. Yeah, no sign of zombies out here.
Interesting.
But you do see a few people working in the fields, and not hard to spot a very distinctive figure of a small green individual with large pointed ears and a long black braid of hair.
It's a he, isn't it?
Yes, Relay is a he.
There he is. Hi, Relay.
Oh,
Hi, Relay.
hi guys! How you going?
We were just attacked by zombies.
Oh
Yeah,
no, again? Oh no.
We're on an adventure.
Yeah, what an adventure. Starts off with zombies. Crikey, I'm really sorry. Oh, we've been having a lot of it round here recently. I don't know why.
Oh, so you haven't worked out what's going on?
No! I
Oh,
keep
okay.
healing all these people and... yeah, sometimes they just don't stay healed.
Right. Do you know a guy named George at all?
George? Yeah, I know George. Had a bad leg, so I healed him up.
Have you seen him today?
Yeah, I fixed him up just this morning. He fell down a well.
Okay, and
He
you
broke
healed
his
him-
leg, so we had him out of there, and then I fixed him up.
And how
Ooh, 3-4 hours?
and
Probably about sort of 1 in the afternoon.
so this morning he came out to the fields, but he fell down a well.
Yeah,
And-
well, he was digging the well. The well hadn't been made yet, but yeah.
Right. 'Cause we just met George in.
How's he going?
town.
How's his leg?
It's okay, but he appears to be dead.
Oh, no. Oh, Mina will be so upset. Those two were so lovely together. Really lovely couple.
Yeah, she was. And we accidentally told her that we think George is dead.
And
Also,
after
his leg
losing
was
both of their
really-
children, he was all she had left.
Okay, great. Is there a chance that when George fell down the well this morning, George in fact died?
Well, he was talking when we pulled him out, so I don't think so.
Did
There
he
was a
have
lot of
pulse?
shouting about how much his leg hurt.
Okay.
I would have thought with him being a bird and all that, he would have landed reasonably well. Maybe they can't fly down wells.
Reasonably well.
And Relay fist bumps Nicodemus. Hey, John.
well,
Hey, Phoenix.
Right.
What was the name of the hedge girl again?
Miriam.
Mina said it.
Miriam.
Do you know Miriam?
Miriam? Oh, the
Yeah.
hedge girl?
Yeah.
Actually, he wouldn't say that. He'd say, oh, the hedgehog girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Reasonably well.
Seen her today?
Not today. I saw her yesterday afternoon at the pub.
Did
What was she all right?
Well, she trodden on some broken glass.
did you heal her?
I did. Yeah.
That's a weird coincidence.
Oh, she was bleeding everywhere. I wasn't going to just leave her like that. That would have been very unkind.
No.
What did the third zombie look like?
The third zombie was a gerbine that seemed to be having problems seeing.
Oh, I don't suppose you helped a Gerbine with their eyesight recently.
Lord?
Maybe? Couldn't see very well.
No, he lost his eyesight years ago, but I figured out how to fix him.
Oh.
That was like 3 days ago?
oh,
Oh.
that's no good.
He's
That's
not,
very
So you
creepy.
he's not
you
dead, is he?
healed. Yeah, you healed 3 of the people who look like zombies. That's weird.
It is!
What's going on?
They were fine when I saw them last. Guys, am I making people dead? I'm not killing people. I'm not trying to kill people. I'm a nice person. I try to make people feel good. I don't like making people feel bad. That's what goblins do, and I'm not a goblin. I don't want to be a goblin anymore.
Okay, I'm not saying you're doing it on purpose. I'm just saying that maybe there's some sort of weird force, and it's triggered by magic.
Oh, maybe. Maybe your healing magic is mingling with whatever's happening here, and it's
right. Yeah, maybe because of all the fire stuff. Right. Yeah, it's not my fault. Good. I didn't think so either. Thank you, Nicodemus. We've always been good friends. I like you.
Or if maybe you could try not to heal anyone until we're sure, that might not be the worst idea.
Yeah, because if my magic's interacting with the flames, then we don't want that. Not at all. No.
No. Exactly. No. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Were there many zombies around before you arrived?
No.
Weird.
Okay, what's the vibe off this guy? Is he coming off as like a genuine nice person, or is he a bit shifty?
He's coming off as a genuinely nice person who just... It's odd that he and Alexander appear in the same story. He comes off as somebody who's... I think his last phrase was very telling. He is... You don't know very much about goblins. But he seems to be not wanting to be one.
Right.
He's trying to... Hey, Castellan, how are you? You
Hi,
bloody
Castellan.
champion.
He's
a lovable
scamp.
He is, absolutely. All goblins are. Can recommend. Yeah, you get the impression that this is basically the first time you've really interacted with this guy for more than 5 or 6 minutes. And yeah, his panic about being thought to be a bad goblin is quite telling. Given that he's in a place where no one knows what goblins are.
Yeah. I think Nicodemus sees him as some form of maybe a mole rat or something that just had an accident in the teleportarium.
Yeah.
All his hair fell out.
Yeah, it's like just this bizarre Jabin with mostly bald, green skin for some reason. Poor guy. What a rough time.
I know exactly. Nicodemus sees him like a large, naked rabbit Jabin.
Yeah, with the long ears.
That had an accident in the teleportarium.
Got caught in a mangle. Yeah.
Because he has no idea what a goblin is, and long ears, small stature, springy legs, obviously a Jabin.
Clearly, yeah.
Definitely Jabin. Okay, is it a place where the fire stuff's been happening more often lately?
Well, so the grove is all over there, and he indicates to the west. And he says, so it still very much happens a lot over there. But we've sort of built a lot of irrigation ditches and things in between so that the fire can't really... there was talk about building some wards, like magic ones, to sort of absorb the magic, but we haven't gotten there yet.
So no one goes over there?
No, it's very dangerous.
Excuse me. This might be a bit dumb, but you know our fire and fire magic is a thing.
Yeah.
Is death and death magic a thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm studying it, but only so I can not do it. Like I'm wanting to make sure that I know as much as I can about it, so I can stop it. You know, I don't like necromancy at all. It's very nasty stuff.
I'm not trying to accuse you of anything, but is there any chance that you're accidentally getting your death and your life things confused? Sometimes I get confused.
Ooh. I want this to be a check.
Maybe I just got lucky stumbling upon the right answer.
I think you could definitely use your luck magic, but it would be the only dice you get. Because this is a below V8 check. This is definitely a below V8 check, which you don't have a point in. So roll a D6, Brendan.
Can someone help me?
Yeah, like maybe you thought you were doing one kind of magic, and then you were actually doing another type of magic.
But Eva is helping, which is adding another dice. However, if you use hubris, Eva will also take half the hubris.
Or do I split the hubris?
No, you
Or
take
do
the
I get all
full,
of it
and she takes half.
Look, I've only got one hubris, so we're cool.
Look, I rolled a 1, so I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, Karen, do you want to roll your help dice? Nice.
I'll even show you. Yep.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Look at that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thanks, Efa.
Alrighty. So, Castellan, we are...
You're so good at turning things into other things, you turn my 1 into a 6.
I turned your failure into a success.
Castellan, we
That's
are
what
playing
friends are for.
a new system. We are playing Major Magicka, which is a rules light, prep light as well, actually, very nicely. Roleplay equivalent. Chancermancer. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty much what Alexander is, actually. Yeah.
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 So yeah, what was the role to do? Like, make him wonder about that, make him think about that, to try and convince him that maybe that's what's going on. What were you trying to achieve?
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to convince him of anything. I was just thinking out loud.
He says, "Oh, well, maybe. I like to think I'm pretty good at healing. When I left George was fine. His leg was all good. His bone was sticking out before I put the bone back in, and I made the skin all heal up and everything. It was really good. And he went back to work. He started digging away. He was humming a nice tune. And that was the last I saw him, actually. I think he went back for lunch."
Oh,
Well then, if Nicodemus, you go. I've spoken a lot.
but maybe it's well, maybe it's like we said, that your magic is working with, because he was limping a lot.
Oh no!
When
It
he
was
was
like what
chasing
was
us.
wrong with them had come back, but also they were zombies.
Yeah, so you probably fixed them, and then whatever is wrong out in the field was like nah, and turn them back.
Like this corrupting magical force is turning this good, positive, healing magic into necromancy.
Sorry.
Yeah, this death magic is making your life magic nasty. It's not your fault.
Right, I'm really glad you guys think so. Well, how do we figure that out then? How do we figure out what if I've been doing the stuff wrong?
Well, we have to check the field first.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go check the field and take a short break, because we've been going for a gosh darn while actually, and Josh just realised that we actually haven't had a break yet. We got a bit.
All right.
State-sanctioned death magic. Not a thing in this setting. Necromancy is highly illegal here. Not an unusual situation.
That doesn't mean nobody does it, but
No, it's
admits
only
that
in
they
very
do it.
sanctioned situations. So yes, state-sanctioned, no. There is, however, a few allowed exemptions, but only at the Avium and only in very specific situations, mostly for teaching purposes. Alrighty, we will go away and be back in 5 to 10, guys. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Avast. mateys, ahoy and good day to ye. We'll be back for some more Major Magicka. So, before the break, the gang went and accepted a mission to Ashbarrow, where they are checking out a plague of undeath, apparently. It looks like they think they may have found the cause, or at least the accidental cause. Relay, a goblin and a healer who may have been cocking up the healing, or maybe something else, something mysterious, is causing him to cock up the healing. Who knows? Let's find out. So, people have been going out into the fields and coming back undead. Not great. So the plan is to head out with Relay and go and check out the fields to see if you can find anything that is causing this. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Very well.
I think that was the general news.
In which case, the big question is, how do you plan to search?
Well, I was thinking we could ask our friend whose name I'm blanking on.
Relay?
Relay. If you could kind of roughly recreate George's movements as best he knows.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Relay is spelt... hang on. This is just for the audience's amusement. Relay is spelt Relaeh. Which, anybody good at word jumbles, is healer backwards. And he is a bought NPC. I cannot remember.
Cool.
I cannot remember who bought him, but I managed to squeeze him into the story. Yes.
This wasn't one of Ardanna's, was it?
No, I feel like it was an Omi, actually. It might have been Bishop Blood or Omi. Yes, they commissioned a goblin called Relay et al. Late healer, backwards. Yes, so this is actually this sort of story prompt was created by that character purchase. Unless you've got an unlicensed cleric or a dropout from med school. Yeah. Sounds like a blood. Yeah, I think it was Bishop Blood, Omi. Yeah. Alrighty. Well then. So, Aoife wants Relay to recreate George's movements from within in the last few days or hours. Yeah. So, kind of want this to be a check, but it'll be Relay doing the check, really. They are a wizard their own self. So would you guys like to help him? Would somebody help him?
Yeah, I will kind of repeat back what he'd told us about what George had done that day and what had kind of happened. Just be like, oh, yeah, you said he did this, and then he was digging the well, and then, he...
Oh, that's right. Omi bought the emergency murder victim. That's right, yes.
That's such an amazing sentence.
Rage. Yeah. Well, we are 6 episodes away from that season starting back up again. Karen, roll me a d6 for your assistance for Relay. Relay has a healing magic speciality, and I would say I'll give him one. So that's not really relevant to this. So I'll give him a 1 dice in logic in ponder. So a 4 on the ponder. How'd you do, Aoife?
2.
A 2. Very well. So yeah, he cannot manage to recreate perfectly the goings on. So yeah, you'll have to find another way to fathom your way through this.
All right. I get out the badge, the avian badge.
Oh yeah.
Now, remember if you put it on your palm, it points to a place where you want to go, right? So I'll just use it now like that. And I want to evoke and use like a magic to make that happen.
Yeah. You'll have to, because it doesn't work outside the avium.
No.
Yep.
I know that.
Yeah, I love it. And I was like, I know that Brendan knows this, and I'm loving it. Yeah, absolutely. Do it. I'm going to roll a D100 and a D20, unless you'd like to, Brendan.
No, you roll those, and this would be 4 dice, right? One for my
boys,
magic, and
it's a
3
69. It's an extreme result on a 69.
Nice.
I rolled. Oh wait, one more.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I rolled a 6 and a 3 and 2 4s.
6 to 3 and 2 4s.
Yep. I want to use 4 hubris to make that 3 6s.
Wow.
Ooh.
I will say, Brendan, 60
Yeah.
an extreme result on a 69 is your dexterity is increased by 1 permanently.
Ooh.
So in this game, that would be your spirit or your sprint, I think.
Shift?
Called. Shift.
Shift?
That's the one.
Yeah, shift.
Your shift, you gain a point in shift.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I'm going to say that is fitness generated by your dashing through the fields looking for this thing. Yeah, this sort of exercise that you're being obliged to do. Yeah.
Like
4 hubris.
clumps of me are probably shedding off.
Yeah. Oh. How much hubris have you got now? Is this 5 now you're up to?
5 out of 6. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, cool. This is a big one. So, when you say clumps of you, what? Just
Yes.
fur?
Look, magic.
Okay.
Yeah. But
All right. No.
whatever is remaining is a bit thinner.
Yeah.
And fits the uniform better.
Okay. Yeah.
He
Interesting.
gets slightly buffer.
Yeah. So 3 successes. Just trying to figure out how this would work in a.
Look, if I get this is a weird thing to do 3 successes on, so I can take.
Do you
them
want to
back,
scale
but
it
I
back to
felt
just
like
1? Just scale it back to 2 successes. I think is all you need. I know you want some instability. Don't worry. I'm sure you'll get there.
Well, I just liked the ability to be able to chuck a bunch of instability to make a big thing happen.
Yeah.
Oh, we could make a big thing happen. It's
Like,
called Major Magicka
You're
for
going
a
to
reason.
need. You're probably going to want a major magicka at some point this session anyway, which gives pretty much almost guaranteed gives somebody an instability. Particularly as you'll be the one doing it because your evoker's the best.
Yeah. Okay, look, I'll just do 2 then.
I'd go 2. Yes.
So,
Cop some
yeah.
instability. Cop some hubris anyway.
Yeah.
Very well. Yeah. So, I think you guys are sort of trekking through the fields, and Alexander is bringing up the rear as Efa and Relay are trying to track George's way through the fields. And Alexander straight up puts his foot in a pothole, and staggers out and sort of flails and reaches out into Nicodemus and pushes Nicodemus, who goes flying, breaks his nose. It just sort of crashes down on his nose, and Relay, almost without thinking, just does a bit of healing magic to patch up Nicodemus's nose, and it sort of comes back up into shape. And Relay goes, "There you go, sorry about that, there we are. Oh no, that's an instant, oh, I'm so sorry, oh gosh, I hope you don't turn into a zombie, Nicodemus." And Nicodemus is just like, "You have killed me." And then Nicodemus, under your feet, you wouldn't be standing here if Alexander hadn't accidentally pushed you. You feel the stone. You feel that you are standing on a large stone, and the stone vibrates a little bit, and you feel, magic seeping up from underneath your feet into you from this stone.
Something's weird happening, guys.
The stone.
If I die, please make notes.
Make notes, I'll write a book.
Thank you. Ah.
I would like to examine this rock that Nicodemus is standing on.
Yeah, you
Get
can do
off
that.
the stone! I'll push him off.
Yeah, valid. Nicodemus falls backwards off the stone. And yeah. Nicodemus, yeah, you falling fall bodily backwards off the stone. Aoife, you bend down to look at the stone. The stone is it is obsidian, but it is laced with veins of. It looks a little bit like marble, except that it is black with. It is black glass, laced through with veins of dark green and purple magic. In a similar way that that marble would have those same sort of striations of color running through it. You find that.
Oh, well, this
and
is
you can
interesting.
sense the magic leaching out of it, leaching from Nicodemus.
Ooh, you got some powerful magic going on, buddy. Is there much of this stone around?
This would appear to be the only one. And, sorry, carry on.
That question was directed at Relay.
Relay's like, I've never seen anything like it. It's not very nice, though. I can get a very, very nasty juju off of this.
Very nice.
Those are bad colours when it comes to magic.
It's a pity.
Okay.
It's a very pretty shade of purple.
Hey, clearly it did something to Nicodemus. Do you feel all right?
Nicodemus, you feel your magic being siphoned away.
Guys, my magic.
I'm so sorry.
No, we found what's causing it, but something is taking my magic away, and I don't like it.
No, this is all my fault. If I hadn't tripped and fallen, this wouldn't have happened.
Where does it feel the magic's going?
Into the stone.
Yeah, into the stone. This is not good.
Can I try and like disrupt this magical flow somehow?
Yeah, how would you do that?
I have an idea.
The dog is scratching and banging on the desk. Thanks, Siri. I
would like an evoke roll from Nicodemus to try and slow down this magical degradation. First of all.
Alexander's going to get out his croissant and just start banging on the stone with it.
You do that.
Okay. So I have 2 in evoke.
If you would use your magic in some way, your style of magic, to try and to delay this in some way, you can for a third success or for a third attempt.
I turn the space between Nicodemus and the stone into a vacuum.
Only very briefly, but yes.
Well, briefly would be enough to break the connection, possibly.
Depends on if you're talking about a conductive medium, but you can try.
I can't really come up with any way to use illusion magic.
Light.
Specifically, yeah.
Except that it is fundamentally your magic itself that we're talking about, so I would...
Isn't this like a yucky dark magic?
Yeah.
And light is good against dark.
Could just try glowing.
Turn on the light switch.
Oh, I have an idea. Can I borrow your prism real quick?
Yeah.
And so what I would like to do is use the remaining, like, whatever's left of Nicodemus light magic to basically try to laser etch into the rock.
Ooh.
Like turning the sunlight into a beam
Guys,
using the prism and then...
I think this might be a major Magicka event.
Ooh.
Yes, totally. I am
to
in.
break the connection from this rock to Nicodemus.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Very well.
Yep.
So, Major Magicka works like this. You can all select one thing to do, one skill to utilize. One of you has to do Evoke. Nicodemus will be doing Evoke. Because you are the sort of the focus of this. However, anybody who chooses to do Evoke joins themselves to that sort of the focus, the casting focus of this. You all utilize your magic in some way. So we've already established how Nicodemus is doing that. He is sort of making himself, using his light magic to cause a laser to lance out of the prism, which is a very neat idea, and I love it. I will also let you have the assistance of an entity, as Relay is also trying to help.
Nice.
However, the person who rolls will have to, for Relay, take that one dice from Relay, will have to describe how Relay is helping. So Nicodemus has described what he is doing. How is Alexander and Aoife helping? Or doing their thing that is causing, becoming a conjunction?
Can I make the prism larger, more powerful?
Ooh, very cool. So transmutation, are you evoking for that? Or is this a...
I think it'll have to be evocation. Yes.
Yeah. So a point in evoke and a point in your magic.
Yes, so 2.
2, yep. I think I know where Alexander's going to go with this, but I'm curious.
Okay. Look, I already said what I was doing, so I'm going to continue banging this stone with my croissant.
Yes. Yep. And it's luck. I think it's... Yeah. What are you doing? As in, this... I would say shift, but...
Look, I would be fine with shift, but you did mention earlier that... The croissant may be a focus for his luck magic, so
that's true.
I
could
go either way.
Yep, I would allow evoke if you want. Yep.
Okay, great.
Because it is a focus for your luck magic. I will, however, roll on the wild magic table. In fact, Brendan, I'm going to ask you to roll the. No, let's have chat to it. I saw a 60 from Omi earlier, so we can take the 60. I just need a D20 in chat, please, from somebody. Castellan, if you would favor us with a
I think they've headed off.
They have they?
Yeah.
Right. Very well then. Then somebody else can do it, please. Omi, you're very welcome to roll that one as well, or someone else.
A 4.
A 4 or a 4? It's a 4. 4 is a moderate on a 60.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you want me to roll yet?
Brendan. So what is going to happen, and I kind of love it, kind of works. Oh, it works very well, actually. This works super well. Okay, so Brendan, in your description, add to the fact that you become the center of a fog spell, which lasts for 7 minutes. And you... and moves with you. So mechanically, like visually, or just sort of narratively, include fog in the way that you describe that this works out. I have a way I feel like it could work, and it definitely, because liquid water in the air can amplify a prism as well.
That's absolutely not where I'm heading with it.
Yeah, excellent. So Aoife is making the prism bigger. So Nicodemus, roll me your evoke, and Aoife, I think I'll hand the NPC to you for what Relay is doing as well.
I think Relay is trying to bolster Nicodemus's strength.
Yeah. All right.
Give them a burst of energy.
Yes. Let's say that Relay has realized that he's already gotten you, like you're already attached to this thing. It can't get worse for you, so he's going to try and bolster your life magic with his own. Nicodemus. So Aoife can roll the dice, but that is what is happening. Alexander, what do you do? You're beating on this rock with your giant stale croissant.
Sorry, I get gassy when I get nervous.
Oh no!
That works perfectly with the visual I have in my head. Yep, let's go.
But it's gonna be like croissant dust, like crumbs and stuff in the air.
Sure.
Quick question: do I add? Well, I have 2 for evoke. Do I add my one for magic as well?
You use you add 1 for your magic style as well.
Yep.
So Aoife is rolling 3, Nicodemus is rolling 3, and Alexander is rolling 4, I believe.
Yep.
Cool. Let's do it.
Do it.
Major Magicka.
Major Magicka.
Counting on you guys.
I got a 5, a 3, and a 2.
Not good.
Might have to pull a hubris.
Alexander?
That hubris, baby. Look, I rolled a 6 and a 4, and a 3 for that matter, but I'm going to
I can burn a hubris.
You can't burn hubris this time around. Turn a success into turn a failure into a success, you take an instant instability with Major Magicka. You can't burn hubris, nor can you use resistance on Major Magickas. Hubris cannot be spent to improve the dice. Ooh, that's rough. And resistance cannot be used to front-load success. The only way to turn a non-6 into a 6 during Major Magicka is for a wizard to take an instant instability. Otherwise, currently you are on a 1-6, which is a microscopic success. Things go mostly wrong with a glimmer of hope that can create a moment to follow up to swing things toward a success. All wizards take an instability without refreshing the hubris track. So you will all become a little bit unstable. 2 6s would be a minor success, which means that you do accomplish what you sought to accomplish, but with a big compromise.
Well, if we're going to take instabilities anyway, I'm going to take an instability.
And I will take 1 as well.
So we would have 4 success. Yeah.
4 successes. Bumps it to a grand success. Only the catalyst takes an instability. If you all gain 1, if you all deliberately gain 1, then Nicodemus is the only one who gets another.
Well, then,
which means that he would be on 3 instability.
Yeah. He's gonna be on 3 instability if he gains if he's gonna take 1 anyway. Because it's the catalyst is always going to take an instability from a Major Magicka.
Well, then should we make it a slightly less glorious success?
Well, if you duck it down to 3 successes, you all take an instability. It's not just Nicodemus. But if Nicodemus, it's fairly unforgiving.
Let's do it. Let's commit.
Grand success. Aoife and Alexander, you both take an instability, and Nicodemus takes 2.
Can I ask, does this instability reset the hubris track or no?
No.
No.
Okay.
If I remember right from last time, it doesn't.
I don't think so. I think it said it didn't.
The only way to turn is to take an instant instability. Yeah. I don't think there is a way to refresh the hubris track. It's just, every now and again you become unstable, and every now and again you do the downtime event, remove instability. Otherwise you turn into a godlike being, theoretically. So this is Alexander's first instability, Aoife's second, and Nicodemus's second and third. But we shall describe first what happens. In fact, I want to roll for what you guys get first and see if we can make it work narratively. Let me just find the instability.
I sprout more horns.
Yeah, probably not. Hope not. Feel boring. Yeah, Karen, roll me a d6.
1.
A 1. Always drifting away. Yeah, Aoife becomes a little absent-minded. Oh no, actually, I've decided to flavor this slightly differently. Aoife, you now are almost permanently levitating. Unless you are concentrating on it, you are levitating. You can deliberately not be, but you have to do it deliberately. Otherwise, you're like a balloon.
I'm glad you went there because that's where I went as well.
Yeah. Brendan, roll me a d6, please.
Okay. I got a 3.
Ooh.
Ah.
Yes! Sprouting mushrooms. This will come into play later. Because you've just walked through fields and you've gotten dirt in your floof. From all the falling over and stuff. Nicodemus, roll me 2. Roll them individually so I know which ones, or tell me which one's the first and which is the second.
Okay. So I got a 1 for the level 2.
That's always drifting away as well, yeah.
And I got a 2 for the level 3 one.
I'm gonna I'm gonna flip it.
Can I petition for a reroll of the level 2?
Well, that's why I'm gonna flip it. I want you to have the 2 on a level 2 and a 1 on the level 3.
Okay.
Because I think that's more interesting than having the same thing in the group twice. Yeah. So, this is going to play out. This is the way this plays out. You are using your laser beam to shatter this rock, basically, or to aim at this rock. The combination of Alexander just beating down on it with this stale croissant. At exactly the third time Alexander brings it down, Aoife has created this prism, has made this prism almost a foot across, and Nicodemus is just sort of holding it there, directing sunlight down and through it, trying to make their magic glow as bright as possible to overpower this nasty evil death magic that as Alexander has described it as yucky, gross death magic. And yeah, the point where you are aiming this laser beam at is hit by this croissant at exactly the same time as the beam is striking it, and the rock just shatters into 2 pieces. And the purple magic leaps out, refracts through the prism. It bounces, sort of reflects it. What's the word? It rebounds off a trio of croissant crumbs floating in the air, and then refracts through the prism, striking Nicodemus in the chest. And Nicodemus, now your form is laced through with purple magic.
Ooh.
In the same way that the rock was. That is your ever-shifting visage. Yes. Aoife, you feel the air, you feel the wind sort of rustle through your feathers, as everything is rather still and quiet after this blast. You feel a sort of, it is an ethereal wind. It has no strength to push you off your feet, but your cloaks all flutter in the breeze. And Aoife, as this wind washes over you, you feel yourself get very much lighter. And
Sorry. I've got a dog adjusting itself in my lap.
Yeah.
Sweet. There you go.
And as this wind, this raw magical wind washes over you, Alexander, you cannot see it yet, but the spores of a bunch of little black mushrooms begin to grow in your fur.
Okay.
Having these little black, nasty, gross death magic mushrooms could be interesting narratively later. And yeah, Aoife is now... I would say, Aoife, you are almost permanently flying. You are gliding wherever you go. You're having to use your wings to propel yourself.
I kind of think heavy thoughts to kind of weigh myself down.
Yeah. You could transmute your feet to be heavier, but you have to sort of use your magic to actually stand on the ground. Yeah, I would say, yeah, you're sort of wafting through life at this point. And yeah, Nicodemus, you have the second level instability is untimely tongue speaking. Every now and again, you switch to another language and you don't have any control over it. And it can happen at very awkward times, as this magic has afflicted you. However, you have shattered this death stone into 2 pieces. And Relay goes, "Oh, wow! That was a thing, wasn't it? Relay."
Oh, yeah, does Relay get an instability?
Is Relay okay?
Oh. Relay goes, "Oh, wow! That was big. Gosh, did everybody else feel that magic, that pulse of... Oh, very nasty. That was definitely necrotic magic, guys. If I've ever smelt anything like that, I've smelled the... We need to get back to the village. We need to get back to the village right now because all those people that were reanimated by the death magic aren't reanimated by it anymore. Maybe they're still alive. Quick!
I assume he runs off back towards the village?
He does. He is now haunted by visions of a terrible future.
Oh, poor guy.
Like finding a village full undead. Or not dead. Just properly dead people now.
Favorite
DM moment right there. Thank you, Omi. Yeah.
And I'll kind of be like, oh, okay. Let's go. Is there any remnants of the Death Stone? I'm like, Siri, what are you doing?
Oh, Tony, it absolutely is languages he doesn't understand at all. Yeah.
I am going to gather up a bunch of my clumps of fur that have fallen out and spit on them and like stick them together and use those to pick up. I don't know how big this stone is, but at least a piece, if not.
Sure.
Both.
Yeah, it's fairly big. It's yeah, I would say it's probably a 10-15 kilo rock. It's a fairly chunky thing. I'd say between the two of you could pick it up. Aoife and Alexander are probably a piece each. If you picked up a piece each, you could probably heft the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll help.
You definitely don't want to leave it out here.
Don't touch it, it's yucky.
Aoife weighs almost nothing, so...
Yeah, I can attest to it being yucky. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Can I maybe like rip off a piece of my robe and make like a sling to put it in? Oh, I actually saw that. I would like to like grab like a stick or something and turn it into a makeshift, like change it into like a...
I was going to suggest you already own a sling. You could just make it bigger.
Better idea. I love it. I get out my sling. I magically make it bigger so we can kind of...
I do like the idea of you putting a stick in it and turning it into a lollipop of death magic.
Look, your call. Both are great.
The lollipop of death magic.
I'm going to make my sling bigger so I can put the most dangerous thing of all in it.
while Alexander makes a lollipop of death magic. Well, no, it's more of a sandwich out of death magic, with his hair, his own hair.
I picture it as a giant furball.
Yeah,
with a death magic core.
Yeah, ugh, nasty. All right, love it. Love everything about it.
Meanwhile, Nicodemus just adjusts his glasses and he does that, that anime glint kind of clink, and just gives the rock in Aoife's hand, because he can't really see the one in Alexander's hands. It's fur. Just a snoot wiggle of disdain. Just,
nope.
Separate.
You hurry back to the village and find Relay patching up the residents of Ashbarrow. They have regained themselves. He reports, guys, come over quick, I need help. The only person who is in serious problems is Miriam, who is, as you left her, impaled on a pitchfork, and she's not doing well. She's in a lot of pain, and he says, quick, someone help me. Keep those rocks away from her.
I'll help.
Yes,
this was my fault.
Okay.
Very well. What do you do? This is him healing her with your help. So his healing magic, how do you help?
I'm gonna hand my hairy death rock to Nicodemus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all this. And I'm gonna roll over and I'm gonna try give her like a gentle hug. And it's all right. It's gonna be okay.
I love it. You're hugging a hedge as well, which is the best. Yeah. And Alexander, completely unconcerned about hugging somebody made mostly of spikes. Alexander assists Relay, who is pretty good at healing magic. So let's find out if he can save Miriam's life. That's a 6. We got a 6, boys and girls.
Go, Relay!
Relay got a 6, a 5, a 3, and a 2.
Is George still pinned to the ground by
George is very much pinned to the ground. Would somebody please let me up?
I would like to go and rescue George.
George! He's
not dead!
And there's a wet-looking Jabin sitting on the edge of the canal as well, going, who threw me in there? Aoife goes over and frees George. I
turn his clothes back into clothes.
Yeah. And then
what a
you
line.
turn. Yeah. Exactly. Splendid. Marvelous. Well, yes. Alexander, your magic, your luck, is going to have one final effect on Miriam.
Oh,
that's a nat 20 on the 20. And a 74.
That good or bad? How screwed is Miriam?
Yeah. If low makes it extreme, what does a nat 20 make it?
It's very minor.
Okay.
A bad joke comes to mind until you tell it. You suffer a negative wisdom and charisma penalty. I don't really see how that's relevant at all. I'm going to re-roll it. Ooh, that's better.
You could have ended the episode on that.
What's the worst joke you could make in this situation?
No, exactly. No, this is perfect. I just rolled a straight 100.
Ooh.
Wow.
Which means, what happens is you hug her better as Relay is pulling the pitchfork out. And just you're being hugged by really quite a rotund hamster is actually kind of soothing, despite the pain that she is in. It is not, however, soothing for Alexander, and you get an awful lot of spines and spikes in you, causing you to be obliged to walk in a silly way for the next 8 hours.
Here come the trombones again.
Yeah. But Relay is able to heal up the nasty wounds that she has been inflicted. And she goes, "It's okay. I appreciate the hug, though. Thank you. Wow, what a day. Well, I might go home and see Mum and Dad, actually. See you later, Relay. Thanks for pulling the fork out." And
This whole business has been unfucking believable.
If you think that's an impalement, you should meet my boyfriend.
Help.
And I think we'll leave it there. As the gang returns to the avium with two death rocks.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Cool. Alrighty. Well, glorious, guys. Thank you very much for playing. And how unstable we have gotten. Nicodemus, I think next time it might not be a bad idea to go and see the Catharsis-omancer. Otherwise, you straight up go deity on us next time that happens to you.
oh no!
And no one wants that.
Nobody wants an immature
I feel like
Jerbeen
Nicodemus probably wouldn't mind.
I mean, Nicodemus would think it's amazing, but do you really want a pubescent elephant shrew with a knowledge complex?
Speaking in tongues and with death magic sort of writhing through them. So, Nicodemus, I would say for your next level up, I would suggest death style of magic.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, and keep the purple even after the
Absolutely.
Catharsis-omancer.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, guys, that was really fun. Thank you very much for playing with me. Brendan, what do you think of the new system?
I like it. It's fun.
It's chaos, but it's supposed to be.
Shenanigans!
Yeah. Look, it's definitely for a particular kind of play style.
Yeah.
But it is kind of a relief after Monsters and Magic is in quite a heavy place at the moment.
Yeah.
And requires a lot of planning and forethought from me as the resident smart boy now that Bennick is gone, and even while Bennick was here, to be honest. So yeah, it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, I'd agree completely. Yeah.
Agree.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, we will do what we like to do at the end of our session. We like to do some favorite moments, guys.
Yeah.
So let's have a D4 in chat, please. Karen being 1, Brendan being 2, me being 3, and Ardanna being 4. Let's see who we talk about first. Tony, would you do us the honors? A 2. We're talking about Brendan first. How appropriate, as Brendan is the new player in the system. Yeah. I'm gonna straight up talk first about Brendan because I think going looking for the hubris, going looking for the instability, actively seeking that out, I'm like, it's entirely what I anticipated from him, and I appreciate the heck out of it. You came in with exactly the right energy for this system, and I heartily approve. It was really nice to see. Not surprised, but really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Emotional support croissant.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, just like, there's so many things I could say. Like, calling him Aleksander LeChonck is just fucking priceless. But I also loved that we arrive, we see these weird, shambling, shuffling creatures in the distance, and Alexander's like, "Hi!" It's like, shh. And even though I'm like, "Shut up," he's just like, "How you doing?" Just did not pick up on it whatsoever. Was just like, no, we make friends. It's cool, right? It's like,
He's a sweetie. He's a sweetie.
Just wants to be buddies, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. Favorite self?
He's nothing if not a man of action.
Yeah.
Chonky action.
Look,
Tony says favorite Brendan moment: bashing the rock with the croissant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fragments of croissant drifting in the air.
Yes, and going lowest common denominator and calling the fog cloud a fart.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm finding it hard to narrow down to one thing. I just really enjoyed playing as this character. I had a lot of fun being really stupid and making my ideas happen that way. So yeah, I'm going to say my favorite main moment was making this character.
Yeah.
Was the character I decided to make.
I was worried was the wrong word because I wasn't. I was very confident that you would do it in a not sensitive, but like there's a worry where you like I'm going to be a stupid idiot. And play him as a, when you said special boy, I was like, this can be. I don't think he's going to go this direction, but it could have been a dangerous place to go. But you played him just as a sweet, innocent noob, a complete noob. And I also really loved the rakes.
Oh my god, yes, the rakes! That was brilliant.
Luck magic is so good. Just playing him as it's completely inept and really fun.
Yeah, I think that luck magic can be very OP because it could look like basically anything. Yep. And every roll that I made had my luck magic because why wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So I feel a little bad about that, but I feel like I've kind of earned it with the character. I also like the idea of this potentially very powerful guy with no clue what he's capable of or how to control it. Yeah. I don't think he can. If anyone would become an entity, I think it would be him. Yeah.
It's like phenomenal godlike powers.
What?
What?
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's have another D4 in chat, or D3 in chat, please. Yeah, the croissant bashing was the rock bashing croissant was. And it was I think it was a smart way to build the character too. A D3 unable. No, just 3. There you go. A 2.
There you go.
Ooh, we're talking about me. Favorite DM moments, guys.
Freaking milking Miriam, like, to the nth degree. Like, it's been so sad for her since she lost her 2 children. And I'm like, yeah, great. Made me feel really bad about it.
Oh, Mina. That's Mina. Yeah.
Mina, not Miriam. Mina. Just like, yeah, cool, great. I ruined the life of the sweetest lady in town. I feel great. Thank you. This worked out well for me.
Tony says, we got to get back. The relay moment of, oh God.
Yeah. There were quite a few things I liked, but I liked the concept of this poor goblin who's trying to heal people and inadvertently turning them into zombies.
Yeah. I will not take credit. That was whoever bought the NPC. That was their idea. He's
down to the zombies.
Them wrong. Sorry,
including the zombies.
Not zombies, but yeah, he was healing them wrong and bringing them back as undead.
Oh dear.
It's a necromancer, goblin necromancer, but he doesn't know he's a necromancer. He thinks he's just a slow healer. Yeah, hence the name Late Healer, but in reverse. Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah.
It's a really dumb idea that I've actually managed to make work, and I'm proud of how I made it work. In the narrative, I was just like, that's how I include him. It's actually kind of a neat story, but it's actually not him. That was the tweak.
Yeah.
he's not actually doing it, and he's definitely not doing it on purpose. Yeah.
This seems like the right
yeah.
system to use to implement those NPCs, such as this fella and Shenanigans Testicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when are we seeing Tooth Airy?
Wait, come along on Thursday.
Ooh, nice.
Tooth will be in that.
The idea, my favorite GM moment was the idea of the besieged gazebo.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked.
Really fun.
I hadn't prepped Ashbarrow, and the gang's never been there, so I didn't really know what it would look like. And so yeah, when you were like, oh well, this place gets set on fire a lot, they should probably make it more fireproof. And I was like, all right, yeah, how would you design a city specifically to be fireproof? Well, you'd want a lot of fire breaks and a lot of waterways flowing through it, so it's very sort of, it's the Venice of the
Humblewood.
Of the Humblewood, yeah. Yeah, that was cool. Karen?
I've
Self?
done you.
Oh, all right, very well. My favorite self moment. I was just trying to buy myself time. Yeah, favorite self moment. Yeah, I would say that as well. I would say the working it all into the role that I got, because the roles are there is a table for generating these stories, for generating these projects, and sort of fitting it into the world. But I think I said that last week, so I'll have to say something different. I also liked working with the luck magic and the with the chaos table, with the wild magic table. Working that into the luck magic, I think, is really cool. I like this system because it allows you to throw in your own stuff on top of it. That's what's great about a rules light system, is you can add in extra and it still doesn't feel like a lot. And yeah, just using it's more like I'm using the wild magic table as inspiration for the wacky that happens is fun. So I was very happy with how that worked out. Tony's just rolled another D2 and gotten a 2, so it's Ardanna we're talking about next.
Lots of twos.
Lots of 2s. Favorite self moment or others? Let's talk about Ardanna. I've gone first already. Yeah?
No, I just realized that wasn't technically a Ardanna moment, so
all right.
put a pin in that. It was related to, but not. Yeah.
I've got one.
Mm-hmm.
Using the prism to generate a laser to etch into the thing was very cool.
Yeah, that is very cool.
Yeah, I like the character concept as well. This is my second place thing. Like when you were describing it at the beginning of the session, I had a really clear idea of what Nicodemus was about, and like immediately knew how Nicodemus would relate to Chonky. So it's a very strong character concept as well. And yeah, so that laser thing was very on point.
Yeah. I liked the education moment. I like so Efa and Nicodemus have their two stupid friends, Aleksander and Hawa. Hawa is, neither of them are actually stupid, but they are special in their own ways. Hawa is exceptionally slow, but an extremely gifted wizard who just doesn't want to have to do anything. He is seeking out laziness. And uses magic to be as lazy as possible. So Nicodemus and Efa are the two outwardly mobile, like they are the really nice, the kids that look after the other kids. They're both really sweet for that reason. And Nicodemus going, no, Aleksander, actually, look, it's like this. And yeah, with the prism, explaining that how that light could work was really sweet. It was a really nice sort of taking him under your wing moment. It was really cute.
Yeah,
It's cute.
Karen?
Oh, Nicodemus is just such a sweetheart.
I have a second if you need more time to think.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the
Can I borrow
perfect
this
moment
book?
that sums up. Yeah.
Yeah. What do we call it? Fantastic yeasts and how to bake
Yeah.
them?
Fantastic
Yes.
Yeasts and How to Bake Them. By Salamander Canute. He's a lizard folk, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. Karen, anything? Or you just going over your notes?
I am. I'm just not. Like, I really loved what Ardanna did tonight, and I can't think of a single kind of specific moment that kind of.
Do you have any
I feel
favorite
the same
stuff?
way. I didn't write any specific things. Everything was just on fire tonight.
Favorite self?
Well, most of the ones I had was thinking of were taken, so yay. But I think my favorite self must be the combo with Aoife trying to blind the
Yeah. Blind
zombie.
and freeze.
Failing at blinding the zombie, making him mad instead.
Yeah.
Tried. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So your interactions with Mina were really cute as well. Like when Aoife put her foot in it, Nicodemus and Alexander going into like, oh no, it's all right, and Nicodemus going like, no, but he's probably fine, we'll make him better, it's okay. Yeah, was really cute too. Alrighty, favorite Karen moments then.
Yeah. Okay. I loved every single moment of transmuting something into something else. I thought your application of that magic was incredibly clever in a way that it can't be in D&D because it's so rules strict.
Yeah.
And you need to find the right spell and cast the right spell and there isn't a such thing as mud into flagstone, so you can't cast that. But because of the nature of this system, you could turn anything into basically anything else that you wanted whenever you wanted. And you did that incredibly creatively. So that was very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was.
I've already spoken about putting her foot in it with Mina. That was really cute. And yeah, the realization, I could see it on Karen's face going, oh God, I've just made things a lot worse. That was very cute. I really enjoyed that particular, gave me something to bounce off, and as a scene partner, it's always fun to have that.
Like, oh no, I'm sorry.
There was this one, the interactions we had in a dean's office. There was this one particular thing, but I didn't write it down. Make notes, people. But
not that that helped me much tonight. I'm just like,
But yeah, just okay. I'm gonna do a cop out here because I can't remember what it was. But Aoife's interactions with Dean, I thought was really, really both cute and interesting.
I did write down a quote for Karen. This was the only note I took in regards to favorite moments. I turn his clothes back into clothes.
Yes.
Oh, Castellan gifted a sub and I didn't notice. Oh, well, he's not here anymore. But that's a shame. Well,
thanks.
Bloody champion, Castellan.
thanks, mate.
Did Stream Elements tell me?
Oh, I did see it come up, but
Okay.
I forgot to interject.
Okay. Oh, he gave one to Daria. Oh well. I'll thank him next time I see him. Cool. Champion. All right, Karen, favorite self.
Probably turning the clothes into stone to pin him down so I could examine him without being swiped at.
That was smart. It was a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I need to pin him down, but in like a way that doesn't involve me getting bit.
Yeah.
Even just the idea of checking for a pulse in the first place.
Yeah. Also good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that he wasn't actually dead in the end.
Yeah.
Because I'm just busy saying, oh, I don't know if he's dead, really. Mina, it's fine. And then he wasn't actually dead, so I didn't have to console his
He
widow,
was. He
who
just
I
wasn't
asked.
dead forever. You broke the thing that killed him. So he came back to life because I'm nice and this is a nice story.
See, I said that if anyone could turn something dead into something not dead, it would be Efa.
Exactly. Good job, Aoife. It was you that did this.
It's my fault.
You
Yay!
did this.
Yay!
You and the others helped.
I helped.
Yeah, that was a bit of a crazy, I think Major Magickas need 4 people. Just like statistically, there was 10 dice thrown at that, and yeah, statistically, 2 is unlikely. 2 is about what you'd expect, and you only got the 1, and that's not out of the realm of possibility. And you can't use hubris to bump it. I'm considering for a 3-player game allowing hubris, but it's double the price. Otherwise, people get a lot of instability really fast. And it, you either have to spend every downtime session with the Catharsis-omancer. And even then, that's only a 50-50 chance of getting rid of any. Though you can use hubris on Catharsis-omancer rolls.
The irony.
But it's like you take a point of hubris and get rid of an instability. It's not the same. Yeah. If you're cautious about your hubris taking, it's definitely worth it. If you roll 3 5s, I definitely take 3 hubris to reduce yourself by 3 instability. It's situational, but yeah.
Do you reckon it's worth lowering the benchmarks a little?
How do you mean for like more
for the
only
successes
5 hubris?
in? No, for the Major Magicka.
No, I like that. I reckon it should just be allowing you to use your hubris to bump it. I think it's a good mechanic. It's a good way of sorting that out. And I think the Major Magicka is really assuming there will be more people. It'll also get easier the higher level you are, and I think Brendan made the right choice going a 3 and 1. Because if you can use your best stat for the casting, for example, then yeah, you're rolling 4 dice. If you're using your best stat and your magic style. I
almost went 4.
Wow.
4-0-0-0, but I felt like that would be a bit too cheesy.
Yeah.
It's interesting also because us other 3, we kind of spread it out to get more resistance. Whereas
Which
you were
isn't
like,
a bad
no,
way of doing it. The trick
yeah,
is
you're just like, I'm just going to be really good at one thing.
Being quite good at all things isn't bad for most of the gameplay, but it does make you a little bit hampered in your Major Magickas. And that felt like a really good place to have one. Yeah.
Is it a given that a Major Magicka will happen every session?
Nope. You don't have to. It just felt like a time when you all would be working on a problem together.
I mean, it feels like a big climactic moment. I don't know how else you would kind of put a climax. I mean, I suppose there's other ways, but it seems like this system's best way of adding a climax to a
It feels like
Absolutely.
a natural result of reaching kind of the pivotal moment.
Yeah. It is a really... I really quite like the system. If anything, I think it lacks for... I would only tweak it a little bit for playing with fewer players. If you only had 2 players, a Major Magicka is basically not doable. Unless you gave them a couple more points of advancement at the beginning. And they built their characters for it. Like, one of them was at least a 3 in Evoke. But even then, yeah. It's a bit of a tricky one because, writing such a simple system for a varied number of players would be quite hard. So I think I would tweak the rules a little bit and say, if you want to take Hubris, even like you can bump up a dice roll, but you have to take even 3 Hubris rather than a straight up just an Instability. Could turn a 5 into a 6 for 3 points of Hubris instead. Is less of a kick in the pants. I would take it on a point-by-point basis, but I reckon, I don't think it would be unfair to say you can... I think my ruling on it would be, if we are a 3-player party again, which I know we will be next week if Gio can join us because Brendan can't, would be, in a Major Magicka situation, the first time you use Hubris to bump something up, it costs you 2 points of Hubris for every point you're buying. So a 5 to a 6 is 2 Hubris, a 4 to a 6 is 4 Hubris. If you want to go for a second dice, however, that's 3 points per change.
Wow.
So if you had 2 5s and you wanted to change into 2 6s, that would be 5 points of Hubris for the pair. I think that's reasonably balanced and would strongly disincentivize doing it more than once. But would also because you guys rolled, I think, 2 5s and a 4 at least between you, as well as the 6, and I was like, that's a lot for... And I loved the choice you made, and I loved all 3 of you like, let's take an Instability each. I was like, that's cool. Do it. Love it. Are you considering dropping D&D 5e for this system? Tony, no. Not long term. I would be interested in continuing this storyline as well. In a similar way to the Candlekeep system, where we drop in and out and have more players and it's just randoms. If anybody wants to play Major Magicka, they'd be welcome to. And just have these little episodic little adventures of these cute little wizard folk. If anything, it's more like I'd be interested in having them crop up in 5e as occasional characters.
I don't think it's a substitute because it's just not as complex.
No.
Like, if you were going to look for a D in like a 5e substitute, you really need something a bit more complex than this.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good system, but it's a simple system.
Do you think there's much longevity to this system? Like, do you think it is capable of sustaining a campaign?
I think it could. I think in a highly episodic system, it's sort of designed for it to be just Monster of the Week adventure style. But I almost worry that Hawa and Aleksander, for example, they work in this system, they work in the way in this style of game, but I don't see them as full bore characters in the wider Humblewood. They are canon, but they're not. I wouldn't say they're just a bit too silly for it. For the style of story we tell more than anything else, in a sort of completely purely meta narrative analysis, they wouldn't work in it. But Nicodemus and Efa definitely could play in the future. I wouldn't mind having somebody else step into the DM seat and I come in and play Jordan Littlefoot in this system.
That would be cute.
Because Jordan is an artificer at the Avium. Jude's little brother, or Jude's big brother, actually. He's one of Jude's big brothers. But Tony, it's a good system, but I wouldn't replace 5e. I don't plan on replacing 5e at all. Yes, we had the OGL thing. It sort of has resolved itself. I'm enjoying...
And the Pinkerton thing.
Yeah, I'm enjoying playing with other systems. I'm enjoying my extended diversion into other systems. Teens in Space will be back in a couple of weeks. We're going to have one more week of this, and then we're going to have Teens in Space. for at least 2. And next week we will be having a group of people over for on the 27th, on the Tuesday. We're having our Pride Month game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Yes.
It's going to be fun as well, with an exclusively LGBT cast, which is exciting. And I need to organise a session 0 for that before then, because I think that's something that we do need to do prior, even if it is just in the few hours before. Oh, what is the Pinkerton experience? I don't know that one. I don't know that reference.
So what happened was that Wizards of the Coast hired the Pinkertons to go to a Magic the Gathering YouTuber and reclaim some cards.
Right.
That this YouTuber apparently had, according to Wizards, stolen. But what happened was that he got the wrong box when he ordered a box set to open. And so he opened it on YouTube, and suddenly Pinkertons were knocking down his door.
You're muted, my love.
It's crazy to me that Pinkertons are still a thing.
Yeah, like that was my thing. I'm like, wait,
Hasbro, my bad. Yes.
Yeah, like it's good to have other systems going in case Hasbro tries any other shit. I'm really curious to see what Kobold Press comes out with, because they were working on their substitute system. So I'm curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, is it Candela Obscura? Is what is that? I don't.
No, Candela.
Is that the
Candela Obscura
role?
is it's Critical Roles.
Alternate. Yeah. Because a couple of people are running it. So I should be watching. I believe John Phoenix is running a game, as is Quest Monkeys.
But Kobold Press basically came out and said, we're going to make our own 5e equivalent system.
And I've really liked what I've seen of Kobold's stuff, so yeah, I'm curious to see what they do.
And I don't believe they've
Starfinder
walked
are probably
that back,
worth checking too.
Yeah.
I'm more of so I'm still going to be running 5e. I will not be running 1D&D because what I've seen so far is just ridiculous. But I will be buying third-party stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
I think it's about, diversifying your options rather than just being reliant on one system. Because we can't trust capitalism.
No, we definitely cannot. I've really enjoyed playing 7th Sea as well. For similar reasons, this is just an interesting new way to tell stories. It's highly RP heavy. Really enjoyed, we did a prisoner interrogation. It wasn't a torture. We never actually did the torture bit, but we strongly implied that we would if they didn't tell us what we wanted them to. And it worked out very well, but it was a really cool way of doing it. I was really disappointed that we didn't get to use, we had so many successes that just went unused in that scene because Terrace and I front-loaded the deck very heavily. Yeah.
The thing that I would be looking for from a ongoing campaign system, and kind of comes back to my thoughts about this system, is when I think about a campaign, and this is kind of what I like about any kind of RPG really, is options to build the character and to develop the character mechanically. And this, I know that a lot of systems, particularly the rules light systems, don't really have much way for you to do that. This system does, but it's very linear.
Yeah,
it is.
And it's quite
get a point in one of your things.
Yeah, and there are 4, or you could choose a second magic style. I think the most interesting way to evolve your characters in this is actually instabilities. Because, for example, Nicodemus, I'm going to be strongly encouraging to have some death magic flavor going forward, even if he manages to get rid of that instability. That the mark is left on him regardless.
Absolutely,
so light and death is an interesting combo for magic styles as well. Yeah, and you probably find it could be quite mechanically useful. So yeah, but I agree with you, Brendan. There isn't a huge amount of ongoing customization. So, like as I say, I see this as quite a light, pulpy, fun monster of the week kind of narrative, where the characters are people we like, but not so much people we're hugely invested in.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Sometimes it's what you want. Sometimes it gets a bit frustrating when you've kind of got in so deep in all these conspiracies in the campaign that you kind of miss that. Just, we're just going to go and fight an enemy every week and solve some puzzles, and then we'll go home.
Yeah.
Sometimes you yearn for that simplicity. It's, I missed the early seasons of the show where they were just fucking about, and now it's this world-ending calamity every other week, and you're just like, meh.
It is something I would be...
I agree with you. And what I will say is there is no reason why an existing campaign can't return to that.
No, that is also true. At least temporarily. And what could also be fun, I do also see this as the carrot. Oh, Aoife, I feel that sometimes you just can't see the plot through the conspiracies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Agree, the carrot.
Like, I've stopped watching TV shows because it's gotten too big. I'm like, I'm not here for that. I
stopped Supernatural about season 4. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not super interested in this big thing. I want to just watch you guys go out and have shenanigans.
Yeah. It's where Doctor Who lost its way as well. Really enjoyed the Tennant era when it was just a Monster of the Week thing, and we were just enjoying that. Hello.
And it makes it really easy to like go back and revisit kind of your favorite moments in a series as well, because you're like, oh, I don't need to remember where in the massive conspiracy this was. I'll just parachute in, enjoy this episode, then leave again.
Yeah.
And I think Doctor Who did it well because there was an ongoing narrative, there was an ongoing conspiracy that you kept seeing little hints of. But when it did come up, it was like 2 or 3 episodes of resolve problem, then go back to Monster of the Week again. Which I would love to bring the monsters and magic back to once you've dealt with the big conspiracy. The carrot, yes, this is our puppy Siri. Oh, Siri.
Who has very stinky breath.
Horrible breath, but she's very cute, aren't you? Oh, very cute little girl. Yes. We're taking her to the vet tomorrow to see if we can figure out the breath problem. I suspect she's... But we've managed to solve the farting issue by not feeding her cheese.
He's very upset.
Yeah. We were paying the cheese tax daily, weren't we? And we're not now, and you're quite upset. She eats her breakfast with an awful lot less gusto. Teeth problems, not that we've noticed, but we think probably because she has the most awful halitosis, and it's been quite quick. She didn't used to have particularly bad breath, and now she does.
No, it wasn't an issue, and now it's like she yawns in your direction. You're like...
I didn't used to mind her licking my beard. I now then have to go and wash my beard afterwards because the smell hangs in it. When to take Siri into a Humblewood character for a Pugma or have a Pugma crossover. So we have had, Daria did art, and I will share it now. Actually, am I allowed to share, Karen?
Yeah, you're allowed to show. We're just not allowed to monetize it.
Okay. I will see if I can find it.
It is a private image.
Super cute
currently.
Picture. Report. Oh, cute. Yeah.
Yeah, I had this done for Josh's birthday.
Christmas.
I do apologize.
Did
it was
originally
Christmas.
For my birthday. And
That's it. And then I asked her to colorize it for your birthday. So if we do want to monetize it, we just have to give her more money.
Yeah. Genuinely laughing. We have
that's so cute.
Lactose intolerance. Yeah, and they're cute. Yes. Daria is so talented. She did the sketch. She did a little pencil sketch for my birthday, and then Karen contacted her and said, "Hey, for Christmas." That was my big present for Christmas, and I'm absolutely fine with that. It's so cute.
So
yeah,
cute.
we do need a Pugmire crossover. Yeah, she wouldn't.
Don't tell Daria I said this, but Daria is a good person.
Daria is a good person. Yeah, she is good people. Well, yeah. Have we talked about all the things we need to talk about? Karen, can you tell me where can we find this artist? Here we go, the carrot.
Zadasha.com on Twitter.
Aria. There we go. There's the link. There's all of their stuff. The carrot, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Guys, we are only 17 away from 700.
What?
Yo.
If we can get there before my birthday, I will be stoked. Yeah,
I think we can manage that.
Oh yeah, it's September.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I'd love to get to 750. I'd be loved at 750. It would be pretty decent in 2 years.
What if we promise, and I'm putting you on the spot here, which I like to do because it's fun. What if we promise if we get to a certain milestone, we have a Josh the Pirate birthday stream? And we do like party games or Jackbox or something.
So you know how every year on my birthday we're normally doing International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day is 3 days before my birthday. So we're normally doing that. I was trolling through TTRPG streamers, and I think you popped up as while Dreaded GM is offline. Watch Corsair. Yeah, Dread is a we'll always follow another puppy. Yeah,
we got a bunny as well.
Dread is a bloody champ. And Carrot, if you want to see me and Dread and Ardanna together, we will be over on the ! Law_right, or the Law Right rather. Hang on, I'll just write it in chat. Here, there you go. This is Ardanna. Ardanna is Nicodemus. And Ardanna's channel, The Law Right, will be hosting me and Dread on Sunday. Want to say Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
So check them
Sunday.
We will be having a special one-shot as the follow-on from another one-shot. And Carrot, if you like, given your name, I'm going to guess that you maybe like you like bunnies as well. Well, this is our bunny Guinea. And yes, a character from the setting that we were playing in this evening, Susan of the Swamp, Susan Tree Friend, will be going to a wedding. And Dreaded GM's one of the characters that is getting married in the one shot over on the Law Right on Sunday. So you can check us out there. Feel free to do that. That'll be super fun. Hey, Guinea, you gonna hop down? Good girl. All right, well, we've been streaming for a gosh darn while, so we should head away now. But thank you very much for joining us, everybody. It's been a good, fun evening. So we will, first of all, we need to find out who the absolute heck these guys all are. Ardanna, seeing as your link's already in chat, who the absolute heck are you?
Hi, I'm Ardanna, or Joe, or Oi, you there, depending on situation. I am the GM and channel runner over at The Law Right, and Josh has already said all the stuff I was going to promote, but you know, tomorrow I will be running, not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be over on Jack's playing, Jack Squarepace playing Baldur's Gate 3. Again, with our chaotic, I'm playing a halfling, he's playing a gnome, so...
Oh. He must be playing a different campaign with you. Is that right? Is he playing a different campaign with you? Because I've seen him playing a Gith Yankee.
Yeah, he's playing a different campaign with me. Yeah, we accidentally killed all the druids.
Whoops.
Sounds fine.
Yeah, not a problem.
Technically, they killed themselves.
Well, then that's different, isn't it? Yeah. Was there a magical black stone that was... yeah, never mind. Accidentally. Yeah, exactly. Karen.
Yeah, no... Yeah.
Karen, who the absolute heck are you?
Hi, I'm Karen. I am sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies. I'm a performer, a writer. You can follow me on Twitter at MotherOBunnies. Or you can follow my burlesque alter ego on Instagram at Miss Lola Moore. Or catch me in the real live world this Saturday night at the After Theatre in Perth, WA for Mixed Burlesque WA, which I will be competing in. Yeah, you can listen to me in the D&D podcast, There Be Dragons. And I'll be back here on Thursday night for Humblewood of Monsters and Magic.
Hell yeah.
And
you will.
I'd just like you to know I knocked over a bunch of stuff with my green screen getting Guinea, so I hope you appreciate having her little face.
Grumpy little face.
I'm not
That's
sure
it.
exactly what I knocked over because there's a green screen on top of it, but I heard something fall over, so something fell.
Great. I look forward to the
Sacrifices I
shouting and
make.
anger later when you find out exactly what it was you knocked over. Yes. Karen and Brendan will be back on Thursday night. And Brendan, who the heck are you?
I'm Brendan. I'm an actor and director. Yes, I'll be back on Thursday night where we'll be heading into the plane of life with a special guest. And I don't know about Karen, but I'm very nervous about what that's going to entail.
He's kind of talked about it with this sort of fiendish glee, so he's got some stuff in mind, I think.
Yes.
What I would like to highlight is the fact that this is very time sensitive because Eric's mum is going to expire shortly, and we're going to a place that I suspect has fucky time stuff going on.
How could this possibly go wrong?
What are you talking about?
Look,
yes.
if you want a drastic change in setting, this is a way to zip us forward 1,000 years.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, Carrot.
End of whatchamacallit, where you come out and it's
yeah.
there's like
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
The grin on that psychopath's face. Yeah.
I swear 50% of Josh's creative process is how can I fuck with these people?
What would they hate the most?
Mm.
No, we are being joined by the wonderful Fenway, the team DM, Fenway Jones, the founder of Jasper's Game Day, will be joining us on Thursday evening for some Humblewood of Monsters and Magic, where the gang are in the plane of life. Yes, and we will be there. There, they will encounter the NPC bought by Ardanna, Tooth Airy. Because it seemed like a good place to pop them in there.
Just so you guys know, it's not mandatory that they have to have a silly name.
No, I would request, in fact, that they don't, but it just happens a lot. I am Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG games like this, Major Magicka. And I'm a professional dungeon master. You can head on over to HP Gaming to hire my services if you enjoy my content. You can also check us out on our YouTube, ! YouTube. If you fancy checking out any episodes you may have missed, the Humblewood world is a large and storied world. It has over 100, and this was the 111th episode today, featuring 39 player characters and 25 people who played them. It is a very large and collaborative space, and I really loved building it over the last... I worked out the anniversary, the 3rd year anniversary, will be the 10th of August.
Aww.
So I will
That's
look
the
to
day
have...
after... Oh, no, sorry. That's before my granny's birthday.
I will be looking to have a special birthday game for that. Yeah. Right. It is, Carrot. I'm quite proud of it. I started over on a different channel, Roll for Damage. But... yeah, I got the bug and created my own channel, not just for Humblewood. We have other systems as well. We play Teens in Space. They'll be coming back in a couple of weeks for more Teens in Space. And I also, I will be back tomorrow night, and I'm going to be homebrewing. And I plan to, you know that table that I got you all to roll on at the beginning of the game to determine how well you knew each other and what you knew about each other. I'm going to expand on that table because I really like it. It's from Teens in Space. I've conflated the two tables in Teens in Space, the good one and the bad one. I'm going to make it bigger. It is a 20-part list. I'm going to make it into a 50-part list because I reckon that's going to be... I just like variety, you know me. So that's what I'm going to be
make a request?
Yes.
I've noticed that with these instabilities, there's only 6 on each level.
Yeah,
I reckon we could expand those.
Yeah. I reckon the reason there's 6 is because it's only a D6 system.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think it needs that. That will be next week.
Yeah.
That's where you make a grid of 6 by 6 and have people roll 2 D6s.
Oh gosh. Well, we were
Grids in my tabletop RPG.
All right.
Yes.
Karen, can you tell me quickly about Ukraine, please?
I can, Josh. You may have heard about the war in Ukraine. It's been a bit shitty over there for the last year. So if you are in a position to make a donation to help the Ukrainian refugees specifically, you can donate for the first link in chat to the Emergency Action Appeal, which is the Australian charities and not-for-profits that have joined together specifically to support Ukrainian refugees. So yeah, you can just go to the link, pick which charity you'd like to give to, and follow the prompts. The second one is the link for the Curious Compendium of Slavic Myth, which is a wonderful 38-page D&D booklet, which is inspired by Ukraine and that part of Europe. There's creatures, there's subclasses, there's a gorgeous map, there's a one-shot. We've actually played it. You can watch it on our YouTube if you're curious. And you can buy it for £1. But you can donate more if you are willing and able, and all that money goes to the British Red Cross appeal for Ukraine.
Carrot says, "Oh, I like that. I may need to sneak in here for that tomorrow." Well, if you do, we will be starting. I will hopefully be starting at 6 p.m., which is my normal start time on a Tuesday. So 6 p.m. GMT plus 8. 6 p.m. would be 5 hours ago, as of right now, this moment. So yeah, that'll help. We also have a Discord if you fancy checking us out there, coming and hanging out with us. I will verify everybody who's signed up after the stream, and we have all the exclamation mark socials, so you can find us all there. If you are wanting to talk to our wonderful Daria, the artist over there, she is on our Discord as well. There's a sneaky way to get you in there. Guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us this evening. I think we are going to drop a raid on Dragonkeer, because Dragonkeer is doing some Warhammer painting, and Dragonkeer will be coming over to play with us next week for Thirsty Sword Lesbians on Tuesday next week. And they are with the wonderful Kate O'Sullivan. They are painting together. So Kate O'Sullivan is there as well. They're painting, and Kate will be joining us for Teens in Space the week after that. Both great friends of the channel. Kate is also one of our mods, so we'll drop a raid over on them, guys. So please throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Red and Kate where you came from. Show them the love like we always do, and we will see you hopefully same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow or on Thursday for more Humblewood. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Whee!